Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. We've got 13 days until baseball's postseason begins. The Guardians and Reds aren't out of it yet. Cleveland made it 5 straight with a 7-5 win last night in Detroit. Guardians beat the Tigers in 10 innings. Detroit tied things at 3 in the 9th, and Cleveland drove in 4 in the 10th. It's their 10th victory in the last 11 games. Guardians are only 2.5 games back of the Red Sox for that final AL wildcard spot. Cleveland's at Detroit tonight at 6:40 with 12 games left to go in the season. The Reds have 11 remaining. Cincinnati lost at St. Louis 3-0 on Tuesday. Redlegs are 3 games back of the Mets for the final NL wildcard spot. Cincinnati looks to take their St. Louis series today at 1:15. You can hear that game over on the Fan, too. That's 1460 on the AM dial. And in college football, it's improvement week for the top-ranked Buckeyes. Ohio State's idle this weekend, the first of 2 for OSU this season. Buckeyes are at Washington next Saturday at 3:30. Hear from Ohio State's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day Radio Show right here on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy, Austin Ward. My good buddy, Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery is joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3 of them. You'll hear from Ryan Day, his weekly press conference coming up at 9:30. 10 o'clock, a little higher or lower. 10:30, Jake Troder, ESPN, going to join us at 11 o'clock. A little bit of, hey, guys, time to get your questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. You can also do so in the YouTube chat, so we can take those there as well. And, of course, at the end of the program, it is a First Friday, so we'll get you officially endorsed on maybe this last feeling week of summer. I'm going to let you guys do Choose Your Own Adventure here. I got 2 things I can talk about off the top.
Baseball.
Don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. I gave you some. You got a little time here.
And my mic was hot there.
I gave you a little time. You got a little time coming up. Don't you get greedy on a First Friday just because I'm in a good mood.
I'm feeling it.
It's warm. I get you a little baseball chatter.
I haven't seen Reese smile that big in a long
so
time.
Excited. He's so excited.
Look like a kid in a candy store.
No NFL till 11 o'clock.
He's got the crazy thing is he's got that segment's at 9:18 where we're going to give you the baseball. And so he's got 14 minutes to get geared up because I'm just going to sit it out. I get a couple of questions.
I got a couple of things to ask you, though, so you can't. You can't take the baseball segment off.
No. I'll do it. I'm going to participate, but that's your heavy lifting. That's your guys'
because your guy had a night until he didn't. Well, actually, he had a night. His team, your team, didn't have a night.
I don't know. Scott Howard seemed to have a pretty good night. He turned into a wolf and won a lot of basketball games, and the blonde fell for him and then didn't, and then ended up with the girl maybe he was supposed to be with all along. So I think my guys kind of had a pretty good night. Here's your this will be your Choose Your Own Adventure here for the out of the gates. You can either choose a justified crime or 80s cinema with a 13-year-old.
Let's do 80s cinema.
Okay. Bake, you cool with that?
Yeah, I think that's the right way to go.
All right. So I told you guys yesterday that I was going to do a family movie night. And so this is the beauty of cable, which I advocate for constantly, and I think eventually we're going to get right back to. We get done with everything. So we just crazy night. It's 9 o'clock. Finally at 9 o'clock, everybody's in the house, and we're good for the night, and the littles are going to go to bed almost at that point. And I turn on the television, and I see the following description among the choices. Teen Wolf. So I know that NBC has not seen Teen Wolf, and he did not get a chance to look at the title. So we just joined it. Okay? So I conducted a little social experiment. So he was scrolling on his phone, which is what 13-year-olds do unless you physically take phones away from them. That's just their predisposed position. They're just hunched over, holding the screen, That's just it. Like that's their, like the NBA has the Jerry West logo. Like if you do a logo for a 13-year-old, that's the logo is that. So I just was curious, like little social experiment. Let's see when he starts realizing what's happening in this movie. Now I had not seen it in probably 20 years. And so we're into it. And he hears like the music going as right. I guess we came in right as Styles tries to order the keg for the guys, for the boss. The boss ordered the keg. That's right where we get there. And then we get to the point where the Michael J. Fox character goes in to order the keg, and his eyes turn red. And at that point, NBC goes, "What the John?" And I go,
"What?"
I go, "Yeah, oh yeah, that's a phrase." I go, "Dude," I go, "just buckle up. And so at this point, he doesn't know if is it a horror movie? What are we watching? Is this funny? Is it? I don't understand what's going on. So then we proceed to continue on, and one of the next scenes is they take the keg to the party, and there's like a whipped cream fight between a boy and a girl. There's some Jell-O tomfoolery that happens between a boy and a girl. They put a boy and a girl in a closet, and he looks over at me and he goes, "Dad, is this what high school parties were like when you were a kid?" I go, No, we didn't have a ringmaster named Styles who was a 28-year-old who surfed on the back of vans around town and was a ringmaster of parties that conducted all of these things. So no, this is not what high school parties was like. At this point, my wife comes downstairs and goes, "What are you watching?" And I went, "Look, it's PG-13. He's 13. What do you want from me here?" So it goes on. And then you get to the point where he starts to get little ears while he's driving the car. And NBC looks at me and he goes, "Dad, why does he have elf ears?" And I said, "Just give it a second." So then more and more little nuggets start to come. And then he's like, now he's in. Like the phone's not anywhere. He can't even believe what's transpiring. We get to the basketball scene. And as we get to the basketball scene, he immediately remarks, and this made me very proud as a father, at how bad the basketball is. Because nobody has been a worse basketball player in a movie ever than every single player who participates in the basketball scenes in Teen Wolf.
How long had the Beavers not won a game?
Dude, 1,000 years.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Quite
no
honestly,
wonder the Dragons dominated them.
First and second grade. Mick had such a good disposition. He was in such a good attitude all the time.
I think that's the thing I remember about Teen Wolf most is the bad basketball.
Oh, dude, it's even worse than you recall. The coach before the game is sucking down a hard-boiled egg as the game starts. Like he's sucking down a hard-boiled egg. That's where we're at. Coach Finstock. So he turns into the wolf, and NBC goes, "Bro." So then the wolf just, it dominates. So then he goes, "Dad," he goes, and I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, like, their reaction to a human being turning into a wolf is pretty benign. Like, they go down on the ground for a loose ball, and then he throws everybody off, and he's a wolf. And he starts dominating, and, like, immediately, the whole town's like, okay, we can roll with this. And the official doesn't stop the game. He's not like, whoa, we got a wolf? We got a wolf on the field. We got to shut this thing down. No authorities are called. My God, where's the National Guard? What did you call the National Guard? We got a human that turned into a wolf in a basketball game. We're going to need to clear the area. Put the women and children to bed. I mean, that's kind of where you're at, I would think. They're very welcoming to it. Very welcoming to the wolf. And the wolf, as you guys know, becomes quite popular. So much so, and this was the part that he had a really hard time with. And in retrospect, I probably should have had a harder time when I saw it as a kid. The idea that the one female that he's chasing, Pamela, is physically attracted to him as a wolf, but not as a human. That's a bit alarming in retrospect.
It's a great point.
Yeah. Like she was like, "I'm not interested in Michael J. Fox. Universally good-looking dude. Maybe he's a little guy compared to Big Mick. But at the same time, when he turned, give me the dog. I want that. I want to date the wolf."
The wolf is mysterious and a bad boy.
He's a canine. Isn't that some sort of bestiality or something?
I was about to say, there's a weird convention for that yearly in Columbus.
Like the furry.
Other cities might have it too.
I went to a Phillies Pirates game unbeknownst, and it was a furry convention.
I think that's the biggest one in Pittsburgh.
I was there. We went to a Phillies Pirates baseball game 15 years
so the
ago.
Phillies Pirates, huh?
Yeah. And it was we were in the hotel right in downtown, and the furries were everywhere. At the end, he goes, "Dad, what did I just watch?" And I said, "Dude, this is the 80s, man." He goes, "How did this happen?" I said, "Cocaine. It had to be." I think they just greenlit everything. There was no checks and balances on anything. The movie's absurd. It is absurd. There's nothing that makes any damn sense in it.
I feel like that wasn't the cocaine. I feel like that was more the acid.
Could have been that.
The 70s hanging over there. Mm-hmm. And the movie writers in the 80s grew up in the 70s, and that's what it was.
I just think it was at the time when if you could get one of a handful of... So a couple of factors. One, you didn't have a million things to watch, right? So you didn't have all the screens and all of that. So, I think that the idea at that time was if you got what was considered an A-list star and Michael J. Fox was coming out of Back to the Future, if you get an A-list star, it almost doesn't matter what you put him in. We would all watch. And my hunch is Teen Wolf was a wild, smashing success. So I would think that it was.
It cost $4 million. It made $80 million.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they ran it back with Teen Wolf 2, but at that point, Michael J. Fox was out. I don't know that I ever saw that. I think that was with Bateman, wasn't it? I think Jason Bateman's in Teen Wolf 2. I think he might.
I think you're right on that.
Yeah. It was a scene. I couldn't recommend it enough. I've done it with him before. I've told you guys with action movies. We watched Commando, we watched Die Hard, and he was locked into those. He thought this was the funniest thing ever, and watching it through his eyes may have been the funniest thing that I've experienced in the last 30 days because it was crazy to watch him slowly put the phone down and just wrap his mind around what was transpiring and that this was an actual film. So good job out of Cable. Good job out of Teen Wolf. We're going to give these guys a little bit of baseball love. We'll do that coming up next. We're off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
IKEA is celebrating 40 years of making home dreams possible in the U.S. Visit us in-store September 3rd until the 23rd for limited time offers and experiences like our Ortianda streetwear collection, our new Tilvercott furniture, daily chances to win gift cards, and more. Come celebrate 40 years of meatball-fueled shopping, brave attempts at our Swedish names, and the inexplicable need for stylish modern design. Offer valid September 3rd through September 23rd, 2025. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary. See store and ikea.us.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Get the MVP, more value price from Coghlan Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on a new 25 Kia Sorento or 3.49% on a new 25 Telluride. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
Based on January to December 2024 retail sales. 0% for 48 months and 3.49% for 60 months equals $20.83 and $18.19 per 1,000 finance through Kia Motor Finance. Not all will qualify. All qualified manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/30/25.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
ECO. Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 are free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
ECO. Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
ECO. We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Tailgating, hiking stadium stairs, going out after the games. It's a great time of year. It's also the time of year I'm on my feet a lot. And there won't be a time when I don't have my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store in my shoes. They make all the difference for me. They help my feet, my hips, my back. They're not just like regular insoles. They're designed so I get firm yet flexible function. They actually correct poor foot biomechanics and give me even more comfort. The fitting process is simple. From the moment you walk in, the Good Feet store will personalize the process. From the pain that brought you to them in the first place to your lifestyle needs. They'll properly measure your feet and arch size. Then take the free test walk. If you love them, wear them home like I did. Your new arch supports will help you begin living the life you love without your feet getting in the way. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City and learn more at goodfeet.com.
Morning Juice, real football talk. Just two guys who aren't afraid to say what needs to be said. And that's how she wrote.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Now streaming mornings on YouTube and 10 TV Plus. Attack and dominate.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A hot summer day for us today. Make sure you stay hydrated with those afternoon workouts. Daytime highs getting into the upper 80s with plenty of sun. For tonight, overnight lows down into the 60s. We'll see some upper 50s as well with mostly clear skies, and then even warmer on Thursday with our highs in many spots getting right around 90 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a little baseball time here. I saw this headline this morning on ESPN, and then so it says Raleigh, this is all the headline says, Raleigh passes Mantle, ties Griffey with 55-56. So I'm racking my brain going, what record would Mantle have that has stood in place since 1961 that also, obviously, you quickly could understand it was home runs. I know he's hit a bunch of jacks. And the Griffey number, I remember Griffey with 56 home runs because Griffey's stats were on the back of baseball cards, and I used to study those like nothing. Like you just knew them all. You knew every statistical thing that a baseball player did when I was a kid. And usually I can get it. I didn't. I had to click on it, and it was most home runs by a switch hitter is what he passed. So he passed Mantle on that. So that's something. I went and looked at his statistical career accumulation, and this is a hell of a year by his standards. He's 25 home runs, a little bit of a Brady Anderson situation here with the home runs lapping the field the way that he has. But so that caught my attention. I did, at a commercial break of Teen Wolf, I did flip over to a little Guardians to see how it was going in Detroit. And they were winning in the 8th.
Yeah, it was Kerry Carpenter, who I think he's got to be 30. He ties things up in the 9th. They go to extras. And this is where the baseball fan, has to decide what they want to do about that extra runner on second to start, or that runner on second to start extras. Because you love it when it helps you win, and the Guardians poured 4 in the 10th. But you hate it when it goes against you. That damn runner. Mm-hmm. But Cleveland's won 10 of its last 11. They're on a 5-game winning streak. And they're chasing down the Red Sox for that final wild card spot in the American League. You got 13 days left to go in the month of September. The dream ain't dead. And even for the Reds, who I think are 3 back in the NL wild card. They got shut out by the Cardinals yesterday. So I think you've understood the assignment, and I think you've done it correctly, where you've made your seasons matter up until the last week. I think for both squads. That was my expectation for the Guardians going into this year. Baker, I don't know how you felt about the Cincinnati Reds, but for these two teams, much like with the Blue Jackets, you said just give us a full season where you're competing until the very end.
I can tell you, to me, this year for the Reds has been disappointing because I thought bringing in Terry Francona would change things for them. And they're 1 game under 500 right now. Last year, I think they finished the year 3 or 4 games under 500. I figured Terry Francona alone over David Bell was worth 10 wins. So I expected a better season. If they have those extra 10 wins, they're in the playoffs right now. I won't lie to you, Bo. August 15th and 16th is the day I quit paying attention to baseball. Those 2 days, because the Reds played the Brewers. The Brewers were on that winning streak, if you remember. It was like a 12-game winning streak heading into the series. And the Reds bullpen blew the first 2 games of that series late. Super late. The one was in extra innings that the Reds lost. The other one was a game that the Reds were up, and I think they gave it up, I don't know, in this 8th or 9th inning. And I was like, well, this is the dagger for them. They're not going to recover from that. They've been pretty bad since then. They haven't won a lot of games since then, and I honestly haven't paid that much attention.
What is the where are we? And this isn't a bit. I don't really follow it that closely anymore, as is abundantly clear. How many get in?
So you have the 3 division winners in each league, and then you have 3 wild cards.
So 6 in the American League, 6 in the National League. Okay. So one thing that is troubling, I think, I guess I don't know where I stand on it, because you just said you bailed on the Reds mid-August. They're 3 out, but they're also a game under 500, and it's like they're 17 games out in their own division. It's like, are they worthy of us paying attention to? Because they're still theoretically in the mix. That's the thing with this, and college football is going to have to see. Look, I can turn this back into college football. This is the tricky part, I think, that we have to be careful about in college football going forward. Is there's a balancing act of it's better to have more teams in longer versus have we watered down what it means to be a postseason participant. Because quite honestly. Now, the NHL is an anomaly because in the NHL, you can get a hot goalie, and the hot goalie can take you all the way to the cup. So you can be a 500 team in the NHL. We've seen it. There's been eight seeds that have gone all the way to the Stanley Cup, and I think there's one in the last 20 years that's won it as an 8. You don't see that in basketball. You don't see 8s other than in strike-shortened seasons. You don't see 8s that go to the NBA Finals. It doesn't happen because there's usually a big difference between the talent of the 1 and the talent of the 8. Baseball's a little bit more like hockey in that if you get hot pitching staff or hot bullpen, a couple of good starters, you can make a run. Is that better for the sport to have a situation where a team like the Reds, who, as you just mentioned, are a game under 500, still in it, does that capture that fan base's attention? I haven't been watching Red games. Are the stands full? Are the people fired up for it?
I mean, I think it's hard unless it's something special, beginning of the season, Yankees, Dodgers, Cubs, something like that. I think it's hard to fill that ballpark every night anyway. There's a lot of times that even when it matters, it does. Now, if all these games, I think, down the stretch here were super meaningful, like the Reds were in the playoffs or they're more than 3, and they've been playing better down the stretch here, even if they were 3 out and they had been on a 9-1 run like the Guardians, rather than the 5-5 in the last 10 they've been, maybe people would be there more. Again, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention really to the Reds for the last month, so I'm not sure what it looks like down at Great American Ballpark.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work. The fact that they're still mathematically in the mix, it didn't work for you.
Well, and I'm also a negative fan, and I saw those 2 games, and I was like, well, that's it. I've seen this story before, and I think they got to a half game at one point a couple weeks ago out of a wild card, and I was like, I'm not getting sucked back in. You guys stop. It was like Reese and Bone, like, yeah, I see a path for the Browns right before the opener. I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing this. I ain't getting sucked into this. I've seen this before.
I've done that with the Guardians maybe 5 times this season. I do it every year with the team. Yeah, you go, I'm out on these idiots. And then I come back in, and now I'm back.
The Guardians, their culture is the most winning culture we have in professional sports in the state. The Cavs are probably second. I mean, the Guardians have been, the entire time that I have lived in this state, going back to 2007, they've been relevant. They had a little dip after Sizemore and Pronk, but they pivoted right away, and it was CeCe and Cliff Lee, and away we go. Like, now they haven't won it, but they got to a Game 7 of the World Series at their place. I mean, they're in the mix. It's pretty remarkable. Like, they're the consistently, other than Ohio State football, they're probably the best outfit we pay attention to. I suppose the Crew deserves some love because they've won a championship and they're always in the mix too, but it's almost like, post pre-court. So I don't have as big of a sample size.
And that was 15
it's a short
years.
List.
That was 15 years before you, Bo. That kind of started in the mid-90s for them. And it's been that way. Now, before that, it was hell for the Guardians, I think, for a long time. But since that mid-90s run, they've been relevant for the most part the whole way.
Like, if you did best winning percentage in baseball over the last 25 years, I would think they would have to be in the top. I can't imagine they're out of the top 10. There might be some lean years. Again, I didn't get here till 2007, so there could be some lean years before, like, Sizemore burst on the scene in the mid 2000s. There might have been some lean years in there, but really since he came up, it's been strong all the way through for the last 15 years for sure.
To your point, they are in the last 25 years in Major League Baseball, they are tied for 7th with the best winning percentage. Okay. Yankees, Dodgers, Cardinals, Red Sox, Braves, Phillies, Astros, and Guardians at 7.
And far and away, while their ownership is wealthy, the smallest market of that operation that you just read off. Like, not close.
And the Reds, in comparison, 24th.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's about it. Reese, you said you had baseball questions for me?
Yeah, so how much have you been paying attention to the Dodgers? Because you talked about Big Dumper, and he leads the league in home runs at 56. Kyle Schwarber's 3 back at 53. Yeah. But then at 3rd on the home run list is Shohei Otani.
So, obviously, not as much as I used to when I used to watch every game, chart every box score and all those things when I was a kid. And the fact that they play most of their games at 10:05 is tough. But
hurts.
I will acknowledge that I do find I'm not what he does. I think sometimes it doesn't get talked about enough because it's unprecedented. Truly.
Yeah, there's nothing really to compare it to.
No. So he had a no-hitter through 5 last night.
And then they pulled him.
All the while he hit his 50th home run.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's nothing for it. He's an outlier amongst outliers. I mean, I don't even know what else you'd compare it to, honestly, in sport. I mean, Travis Hunter, I guess, last year at Colorado, no one's ever done that before. And what Travis Hunter's trying to do in the NFL, nobody's done that. I mean, he played a ton of series on defense Sunday in Cincinnati. That's probably the closest. But this is years of this for Otani, doing this.
I wonder for your 3, because my guess is Otani probably the biggest name going into Major League Baseball's postseason. Will there be any kind of attention paid?
By, like, my kids?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. No, they won't. And it's, I said this a couple of years ago. I think he's the greatest baseball player of all time. I don't know how you'd even argue against it. I guess you could do Babe Ruth, but I mean, just think about how ridiculous that is, comparing what athletes are now to what they were in 1922.
In my lifetime, I feel like Shohei Otani, Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders are on like a short list, right, of just the best athletes.
Yeah, but
in the big 3.
Sure, but what even separates him amongst those guys is he's done it for a long period.
Correct.
I mean, Deion did that for like 2 years where he played some baseball, but it was really 2 years where he's really trying to do full-time both. And Bo did it for a couple of years. This dude's been doing this for, forever.
And if he wouldn't, even like those, like Bo Jackson got derailed by injuries.
Sure.
What would Shohei Otani's career be if his arm would hold up?
I don't know. And and even though, by the way, when he's going through that, he still hits 50 home runs. So, yeah, there's no, he's on another, to me, he's in another stratosphere, even amongst outliers. This Buckeye football team might be the best in America. They've got an off week this week. Ryan Day weighed in on all of that. We will hear from him in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
Scotty Vegas here. Smartest bet of the season? Bet on yourself. I needed a weight loss plan that fit into real life. Tailgates, road trips, kids' nights, and still lets you eat. Week 1 with Awaken 180, I was down 6. By the end, 45 pounds gone. That's with wings, chili, meatballs, sausages, all the good stuff. It's the Tailgate transformation. Structure, coaching, and food that tastes like a win. Make the smart play. Start your tailgate transformation at awaken180weightloss.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Ryan Day with his weekly Tuesday presser yesterday. It is a bye week for the Buckeyes. It's in a bit of a weird spot. Just 3 games in this bye week, paratroops in. Typically, you play a few more games before you get to one of these, but that's the way it shook out this season. In a way, I think it works out perfectly, as I've talked about several times over the last couple of weeks. If you get this Super Bowl showcase game first, then you get honestly like kind of a practice on air against Grambling, a big step up to Ohio, an off week to kind of recalibrate, see where you're at, and then the biggest test since the Texas game out in Seattle, your first road test coming up a week from Saturday. Here is Ryan Day on how the team is approaching the bye week.
Today we'll practice today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Take Friday and Saturday off, and then come back in Sunday, have our practice, and do a normal game week. That's something that I think is important to make sure we still continually stay on that schedule. We're going to work hard on fundamentals, on the areas that we need to get better at. We know the next 4 games are going to be a challenge. This will be our first conference game here. This will be our first road game, and 3 of the next 4 will be conference road games. So, we have to prepare, to go on the road and play really, really good football.
I'm wondering if they're flying Thursday. Like an NFL team would fly Thursday. They would fly out Thursday, have Friday in Seattle, and then you'd play the 3:30 Eastern. Body clock wise, it's going to be a 10 for them. I mean, you just stay. My hunch is you just stay on East Coast time. I would, if I were them. I mean, I do that with the kids. We go to California, whatever. You just stay on East Coast time. If it's a short trip, you just stay. You just get up really early.
I feel like normally they don't do that. I feel like normally, I think we've heard the few times they have done something like that because it was out of the ordinary, but I feel like they're probably going to get up Friday morning and fly out there.
Yeah, it's a long ways. I mean, even even direct, it's got to be 4.5 or 5, right? I mean, it's got to be. Even on a charter, it's got to be 4.5, 5 hours. It's a long dang ways out there. So it wouldn't surprise me if they flew Thursday night and then had Friday to kind of, do a walkthrough, someplace, some other campus there where you can get a football field and get a little walkthrough in there on that Friday to kind of acclimate yourself. It remains absurd that Washington's in the Big Ten. I mean, it just is absurd that they
Looks like last year they traveled to Eugene Friday afternoon.
Night game, though.
Sure.
So it gives them that gave them a little more get acclimated. Yeah, maybe they would. Maybe just fly Friday and stay on East Coast time and, get up early and act accordingly. Maybe that could be the plan in this thing. But it's a massive test. I think Washington's really good. You're going to get a chance to see them. They play in the Apple Cup against Washington State this weekend. They have a quarterback that's a handful. I think Jedd Fisch's a heck of a coach, and I think that the atmosphere is going to be not quite Eugene, because that's the toughest out there, but just a rung below. If it was a night game out there, then I think it would be, quite honestly, right there. It's right there if it's a night game, but with it being in the afternoon, you'll lose a little bit of that. But it'll be their biggest test. It's kind of again, I think I'm really in favor of this schedule. I think it's a really nice schedule for Ryan and this team. Go ahead, Bake, you got one?
I was just going to say, you're talking about Damon Williams, and obviously on this show, we've been talking about him for a while.
Yeah.
I heard Matt Patricia yesterday comparing him to a Kyler Murray, and some people may be like, well, that's not really anything. Look at Kyler Murray in the NFL, but Kyler Murray's the guy that won a Heisman Trophy at Oklahoma in college.
Yeah, he did. He did. That's I don't know if he's not on that level as a athlete or player, but stylistically there are similarities to that. He's awfully efficient. They've only played 2 games in their win against who'd they play? They played UC Davis and they played Colorado State. Are their first 2 games against CSU, which is probably the better of those teams. He's 18 to 24, 226. So he's completing 75% of his passes. On the ground, it's 8 for 64 and 13 for 68. So yeah, he's a handful. But it's nice. This is a nice test. It won't be talent equates, but it'll be at least in the vicinity. And of these games that he talks about, so it's this one, it's at Illinois, it's Minnesota at home, and it's Wisconsin. To me, is Washington better than Illinois?
No,
I think they're
team,
comparable, though.
I think the challenge is greater for Ohio State against Washington right now than what it'll be Ohio State against Illinois.
Well, you're going to get a lot of scarlet in Champaign. There always is. And I'm sure they're going to do everything in their power to keep Ohio State fans out. But it usually doesn't work.
Never works.
No.
I think that Washington-Illinois comparison is pretty good, though, because I think, the more we started looking into Washington, the more we're like, yeah, maybe they could be a team that's right there with the Indiana and Illinois in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, they're a massive program. I mean, they're in a huge city. They have a big, wealthy alumni base. I mean, just look what they did with basketball when they hired Danny Sprinkle, and they spent $2.5 million on Great Osabar. It didn't work, but, I mean, they can activate. They can activate in a big way, and
I just think
it's a massive program.
With the game against Washington, it's, for me, right now, more so about Ohio State than it is the challenges like Washington presents from an X's and O's standpoint. Like for the Buckeyes, it's, fix your stuff in the red zone. You'll have Arvell Reese spy on the quarterback, but he's had 2 weeks of doing that on really good quarterbacks, Arch and then Curtis Rourke last week. So those things for Ohio State will help, or at least fixing issues and playing it to their best more so than what Washington's going to be able to offer. Like if Ohio State, much they did against Ohio, doesn't play at their best and has, some brain fart moments and can't convert third downs into the red zone, then Washington will take advantage.
Did we just get a Freudian slip out of Reese there, Bake?
What I said?
Curtis Rourke last week.
Oh, yeah. No, it's Parker Navarro.
The one who got away.
Wow.
Wishful thinking. The one who got away.
Miss you, Curtis. Hope you're doing well in San
I think so.
He's a backup quarterback now.
Yeah, that's true. You mentioned the red zone. That it was a big point of contention coming out of the win against Ohio. I think because we just need something to bitch about sometimes, and so it was the red zone. We weren't good enough. We won by 4 scores. Wasn't good enough. God, why weren't we better in the red zone? We got to be perfect. Blah blah blah. They've had a chance to look at the film. Here's Ryan on the red zone and what the struggles were and how it's going to get fixed.
The first time we went down there, we had a power play that I feel like we got the right look that we were looking for, and we didn't execute that very well. And quite honestly, on the second one, on the third, pass there, it was a kind of a 50-50 ball and man-to-man. I thought the protection was good, but that's playing in the red zone. And then on the last one, they did a good job sort of matching it. If you watch the play, you'll see CJ kind of leak free in the flat, and if we can just keep our feet and keep our eyes up, maybe we see him there. And then as we got into the red zone a couple other times, we had a penalty. But, quite honestly, there was one where we didn't motion the guy over. So to me, I thought schematically we were in decent shape. I'm critical of that.
Yeah, they're going to be fine. And if you're learning red zone lessons in a forced touchdown win, all the better, right? I mean, all the better. I think the bye week hits fantastically. I love this matchup with Washington. I'm very curious to see what the line will be on this one, especially once I see how they look against Washington State. My guess is right now I would probably my hunch is it'll be, I would say without seeing them play against Washington State, I think it will be somewhere between above 10 and maybe under 14.5, somewhere in there.
I was thinking when I first thought of this 16.5, that might be too rich, though.
I think it's going to come down to how they look against the Cougs. Like if they bomb them the way didn't North Texas just crush Washington State? Like if they put it on them in a game like that, then I think it'll be 2 scores. Is it 2 scores plus, or is it slightly under? That'll be dictated on, I think, what Washington looks like this week. One of the things that is becoming a pretty obvious trend here in college football is that what's happening these first few weeks does not cripple anybody. So the topic then becomes, well, who is done in college football? We will get into that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver. Leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I have the greatest lawn in the neighborhood every single year. And the reason why is water and Weed Man. Good news, I'm only selling you one of them. Fall is the perfect time to improve your lawn for next year. The work you do or don't do now is directly reflected next spring. If you want a beautiful spring lawn, it starts now, not next April. Now through the end of September, mention the promo code Common Man and get a free blanket weed control with the purchase of a full program. For a free quote, go to weedman.com. That's weedman.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of the biggest reasons people get new windows, Wilson, is that old windows make for an uncomfortable house with crazy high roller coaster energy bills.
Leslie, people love being uncomfortable on roller coasters. The ups, the downs, the gurgling in your stomach because you had 5 corn dogs before getting on.
Did that happen to you, Wilson?
What? No.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home. at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Tailgating, hiking stadium stairs, going out after the games. It's a great time of year. It's also the time of year I'm on my feet a lot. And there won't be a time when I don't have my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store in my shoes. They make all the difference for me. They help my feet, my hips, my back. They're not just like regular insoles. They're designed so I get firm yet flexible function. They actually correct poor foot biomechanics and give me even more comfort. The fitting process is simple. From the moment you walk in, the Good Feet store will personalize the process. From the pain that brought you to them in the first place to your lifestyle needs. They'll properly measure your feet and arch size. Then take the free test walk. If you love them, wear them home like I did. Your new arch supports will help you begin living the life you love without your feet getting in the way. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City and learn more at goodfeet.com.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU football insiders. You know, it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day. The water's standing in the tub. My toilets will not flush. The smell's getting bad in here. I need help in a rush.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Dr. Marta Lavelle of Urbana and Darby Dental Smiles on having First Bank of Central Ohio as a partner.
It has been great working with First Bank of Central Ohio. They helped me achieve a huge goal, becoming a business owner. The bank made it so easy. They helped me through the whole process. It's been great ever since.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, or whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
Oh, we're almost there. You can feel it. Those crisp morning air, evening air too. Leaves crunching under your boots, crackle of a warm campfire. Fall camping's pure magic. You ready to get outdoors? I'll tell you what, if you are, you need to go see my friends at RCD RV. RCD RV's Fall into Adventure sale, September 15th through the 30th. It is on now. You can cozy up to incredible deals on all remaining 2025 models. Campfires, family, autumn leaves, perfect Halloween camping trip in the new RV. All of those boxes are winners when you check them with my friends at RCD RV. Visit one of those locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com. Do not miss these fall savings at RCD RV. Tell them Bo sent you. They'll take care of you, kids. That's what they do. Great people. All right. Is Notre Dame done? They're 0-2.
No.
They're ranked 24th in the country. Are they done?
No, I don't believe so. The schedule gets a lot easier for them from here on out, and I don't believe they are.
Clemson's 1-2. Are they done? We know they're not.
No.
They can win the league.
Right.
They sure look done, though, right? It doesn't.
It's a
we'll
feel.
get to Dabo in a minute.
It's a they feel done, but
and this is
technically no.
This is one of my things about the expanded playoff, and you kind of talked about this with baseball, and is it watering it down and this and that, and Clemson, are they done? Absolutely, they're not done.
No.
They could listen, they can lose another one, right? They've got South Carolina at the end of the year. They could lose that, still win the ACC, and be just fine.
They
but it
lost
sure
to
doesn't
Carolina
look right
last year and got in.
Yeah.
This is where this is the beef that I have with the and I understand that this is, not popular to folks up the road on campus, but this is my beef with the automatic qualifier stuff. This is my beef of it. Because to me, Clemson should be done. They should be done. They got beaten at home by LSU. They got beat on the road by Georgia Tech. They were down 16-0 at home to Troy. Like, I've seen enough. They should be done. And there should be a penalty for that. Conversely, On the Notre Dame side of it, no, they're not done. They were competitive in both games they play. They should be rewarded for playing a very brutal first couple of games of the season. I've almost said non-conference in a Freudian slip, but of course there is no conference for them. So you make the point about their schedule easing up. Oh boy, does it. Notre Dame's 0-2. They lost by 3 at Miami. They lost at home by 1 to Texas A&M. They have Purdue this week. Then they're at Arkansas. Isn't that a strange game to schedule? They're at Arkansas. Like, they did a home and home with Arkansas? So strange. So they're at Arkansas on the 27th. Then they get Boise State. This is such a strange schedule for them to play. They're non-conference because they have to play the 5 ACC games. So this year their non-conference games are Texas A&M, Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, USC, Navy. Yeah, those 6. Those are their 6 non-conferences. Everybody else is an ACC opponent. Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford, NC State, Boston College, and Miami. So, yeah, it eases up quite a bit for them. And if I'll tell you right now, there's no 10-2 Notre Dame team that's not getting in. This is a TV show, man. You could put them in as an 11 seed, and I don't think they would be. I think one thing we're going to see this year in college football that is going to take a little bit of getting used to, unless you do what Indiana does, where you just schedule nobody and you just try to make sure you're 11-1 and get in that way. What you're going to see is carnage. I mean, if you've paid attention the first 3 weeks of the season in the SEC, no one's getting out of that thing unscathed. You're going to have a bunch of 2 and 3 loss teams there. I think you're going to have some Big Ten teams with a couple of losses. I'm fascinated to see what happens when Oregon goes to Penn State and who comes out of that alive and the damage that's done to the team that loses it. Obviously, they won't be eliminated, still be right in the thick of it. But how many more losses do they take on? We talked about this to start the week. And the more you think about it, the more I think it resonates. There are no great teams. Not right now. There might be a couple of teams that turn into great ones, and the ones I'm looking at are Oregon, and certainly the one that we have here. Penn State maybe can turn into that. I'm not sure if LSU can get there. They're incredibly sluggish. Georgia, I'm curious about. Maybe Tennessee's a little better than we think. I've liked Oklahoma from the beginning. I still like them a lot. But is FSU, does this continue for them? The reality here is that what you did with the 12-team playoff and what you're going to do with the 16 is you are going to force these programs to take a look at what is the barrier to entry. So if you are a program like Indiana, as much as I hate it, it makes sense to do what Cignetti is doing there. For him, he's trying to get in the playoff. He's trying to be in the mix. So every year he's going to have 3 like he had this year. And they already bailed on Virginia. He's going to have Old Dominion. This year they got Old Dominion, who they beat 27-14. By the way, Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech.
That might cost you your job. Careful.
Might, yeah. Old Dominion, they beat them. Then they played Kennesaw State. Then they played Indiana State. Now they're into Big Ten play. They're ranked. They're into Big Ten play. They get this massive game with Illinois on Saturday. Then it's at Iowa, at Oregon, Michigan State, UCLA, at Maryland, at Penn State, Wisconsin, and Purdue. He's got to win because they'll win most of the other ones because they're a pretty good team. He's got to win one of Penn State, Illinois, Oregon. He's got to win one of those games. He goes 10-2 again, he's going to get in.
I mean, the Illinois, they got to be a top 10 win. Like you're looking at top 10 Indiana.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that's I get it. I understand. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, but I get it. From his perspective, I get it. Now, it's okay for Indiana to do that. I don't want to see Penn State doing that. I don't want to see Ohio State doing that. I don't want to see Michigan doing that or Oregon doing that. But if Indiana, Illinois got to do that to make sure that people pay attention to them, make sure those records are shiny, I get it. We're all in a business here, kids. You guys see that report about the money Ohio State made on the playoff last year by hosting Tennessee? $5 million on one game they made after paying the CFP, the Ross's piece with the Dispatch, paying the CFP back their money, paying for the thing. They still made $5 million. That's found money, man. They found $5 million.
I do think, though, Bo, going back to your point, and especially with Tony Petitti, he wants to have these games. He wants to have big-time games. I think they're going to put a stipulation in here eventually where every Big Ten team has to play a Power 4 out of conference.
I hope so.
The SEC kind of did something like that, and I think the Big Ten, they're going to make these teams. So Indiana won't be able to get rid of Virginia in the future because they'll need that game.
And it's not, for Tony Petitti, it's not being magnanimous trying to create more great games for the fans to watch. It's for inventory.
1,000%.
Because there isn't enough. You look at the Big Ten this last couple of weeks trying to make these primetime games work, and the Big Ten has 3 primetime windows. They have the noon window, the 3:30, and the night window. Like, these are not primetime games, but they're having to make it work because the Big Ten, for the most part, takes September off outside of Ohio State and Michigan, who play big games out of conference. It's where we're at. Big decision going to have to be made. We'll do a little higher lower coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The 2 most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Your game day headquarters is here at ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The only place to watch and win. Catch every play on more than 30 TVs and over 50 feet of video wall. Score tickets, signed professional and college sports memorabilia, and pen cash prizes. Join the watch parties for every home team game with a tailgate buffet and bucket specials. Plus, get official game day swag with every table reservation. Game day lives here, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
Dormar, you're Climate Hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
He's a former coach with 2 sons who played professional basketball. Satch Sullinger's a competitive individual, but his golf game was suffering because of painful joints.
As we get older, we create these bad habits because we're relegated to hit a certain way.
QC Kinetics used regenerative treatments, all natural healing properties from Satch's own body, to restore those damaged joints and get his golf game back on track.
QC Kinetics regenerative medicine is regenerating me. All natural. And that's what I'm about. I'm going to tell everybody why I'm better.
Oh, and by the way, it looks like the competitive Satch is back. Feeling great and giving his golf buddies a hard time.
We're all in the same boat, and I'm getting better, and I'm watching them stay old.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus. Get relief and your game back. Call for your complimentary consultation. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. Again, 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and it's party time, baby, because the Grove City Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest is back Saturday, October 4th at American Nitro. From noon to 9, you get wings, beer, live music, football on the big screen, and more. Don't miss the wing eating and bobbing for wings contest either. Ooh, veterans, military, and kids under 12 get in free. Get the tickets at AmericanNitro.com/wingfest. Presented to you by The Fan, Columbus Chamber, Brex Paving, Darby Dental, and Equipment Rental. Wingfest 2025, the ultimate fall kickoff. Don't miss it.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
For years, you've been hearing us talk about the Newman Roofing difference, delivering nothing short of an excellent customer experience each and every single time, from the first phone call to the end of your project. But don't take our word for it. Take a listen to our friend John and his Newman Roofing experience.
Well, the first thing that drew me to Newman Roofing is the extraordinary Google score of 5.0. That was the first indication to me that this was going to be a good experience. Overall, the experience with Newman Roofing was wonderful. when I came home, the job was completely finished. The crew had cleaned up and left. I wouldn't have known that they were there.
What star rating would you give Newman Roofing on Google?
I would, without hesitation, award Newman Roofing a 5-star rating on Google.
Any advice for those looking for a new roof, John?
Once you have contact with Newman Roofing, you'll understand why everybody's giving them a 5-point rating.
Do what John did and schedule your free roof or siding consultation with Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online today at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Come join the Ford versus Ferrari Ultimate Car Show at Valley. Everyone's invited to see Ford GTs and Ferraris, plus tons of other local show cars up close this Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Drive-in car registration is open to all at Valley Ford of Columbus.
Scotty Vegas here. Smartest bet of the season? Bet on yourself. I needed a weight loss plan that fit into real life. Tailgates, road trips, kids' nights, and still lets you eat. Week 1 with Awaken 180, I was down 6. By the end, 45 pounds gone. That's with wings, chili, meatballs, sausages, all the good stuff. It's the Tailgate transformation. Structure, coaching, and food that tastes like a win. Make the smart play. Start your Tailgate transformation at awaken180weightloss.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. 12 games remain for the Guardians, 11 for the Reds in the regular season. Both Ohio squads are only a handful of games out of their respective wild card races. The Guardians trail the Red Sox by 2.5 games to the final AL wild card spot. Cleveland won in Detroit last night 7-5. Guardians scored 4 runs in the 10th. It's their 5th straight victory. Cleveland's won 10 of its last 11. Guardians and Tigers go again tonight at 6:40. As for the Reds, Cincinnati is 3 back in the NL wild card. Redlegs were shut out by the Cardinals last night in St. Louis. The rubber match of the series is today at 1:15. You can hear Reds baseball over on the Fan, too. That's 1460 on the AM dial. In college football, Ohio State's on a bye this week, the first of 2 for OSU this season. The top-ranked Buckeyes are at Washington next Saturday for a 3:30 kick. ESPN senior college football reporter Jake Trotter will join Bo Bishop coming up in about 30 minutes right here on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a First Friday. Still time to get your Hey Guys questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. You can also do so in the YouTube chat. We will get to those coming up at 11 o'clock. Jake Trotter, ESPN, going to join us in about 28 minutes from now on college football. Between now and then, time for a little higher lower.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling today at 614-232-2222 or visit online at thewaterworks.com.
God, that hits are so good every time. Every week, that just hits, man.
You'll be hearing it next Saturday for Ohio State and Washington, that 3:30 kick.
Is that the best sports theme music out there? Like, I think Round Ball Rock was pretty good with the NBA and NBC, but
Round Ball Rock just went away for 25 years.
Yeah, but it's back now.
It is, but like it was. I mean, I know that I think CBS used the original one on like their CBS or Fox bought it for their college football or college basketball rather.
I think it was Fox. It was weird.
Was it? Yeah, it was strange.
Weird.
But it was gone for so long. No, the way that hits,
yes,
the way it hits, and also like the imagery of what you would expect to see next, which was, I mean, in my head when I hear that, I just think Bama LSU. Now is what I over the last 15 years, that's what comes to mind. Is it feels like it's Bama LSU. Let's go.
And this, growing up was like the best game on the schedule every week when it was, the SEC. Yeah. And there've been some Big Ten bangers, obviously with little left to be desired.
Do you think that there is? I mean, they basically had to pivot so quickly. They had the best deal in sports media. CBS did with the SEC, where they did not pay market value, and then the SEC was cool with that because they got the exposure. Then they do the deal with ESPN and they get the exposure and all of it. Like you saw the ratings, like 14 million people watch Tennessee, Georgia. It's unbelievable. So then they have to pivot quickly, and they get this kind of, well, you got to get into the Big Ten, but it's almost like they didn't read the fine print because, like, it's so difficult for them to get a great game based on Fox's power over the drafting of those games. And it feels like NBC has second pick, so they're kind of stuck with, like, the third-rung Big Ten game almost every week. I mean, they're going to do cartwheels. They got our game in 2 weeks.
So they got Ohio State, Washington in 2 weeks. The 3:30 CBS game Saturday's not bad. It's Nebraska hosting Michigan. So, like, that college football scene,
gonna get. Yeah.
I think when it opens up to, the one of several memorial stadiums, that'll look and feel like college football. But, nothing hit like when you heard those horns and it came up over Tennessee or over Bryant-Denny Stadium or over Georgia, and it was just a raucous crowd for a game that had national championship implications.
Yeah.
The AP Top 25 going into Week 4, not a ton of change. Texas A&M, I think, the biggest jumper. Notre Dame, the biggest plummeter, for lack of a better phrase. But Ohio State retains the top spot. Buckeyes get 55 first-place votes. Penn State stays at 2. Nittany Lions getting 5 first-place votes. LSU's at 3 with 2. Miami goes up a spot with 3 first-place votes to 4. Georgia up to 5. Oregon at 6. Higher or lower for the Ducks, who dropped 2 spots at 6.
It's stupid that they dropped. I think if I did this based on what I've seen through 3 weeks, my top 5 would be Ohio State 1, Oregon 2, Miami 3, Georgia 4, Penn State 5. That's what my top 5 would look like, and I'd have LSU 6. That's what mine would look like. I think, by the way, good for somebody still giving Oregon a 1. Outside of Ohio State, and honestly, like, Oklahoma might need to be up. Oklahoma might be 6 and 7, somewhere up in there, because they've been pretty lights out too. But no, I think, to me, you could make an argument for Ohio State, Oregon, Miami. No, not those 3 are the only 3 you can make in my opinion. You can make an argument for the number 1 team in the country.
So in mine, I have Oregon as the number 3 team in the country. I still have LSU as my number 2. I know that Clemson and Florida, those teams are worse than maybe we thought they were, but I still think those are 2 pretty quality wins. That game in between, I think, is an easy game for them to look by, so I don't really hold that against them. I do have Oregon, though, number 3. I think Oregon is in, like you said, a short list of teams that have been the most impressive so far through 3 games. So I have Ohio State, LSU, Oregon, so higher than number 6 for Oregon.
At number 7 in the AP Top 25 going into Week 4 of the college football season is Florida State. At 8 is Texas. 9, Illinois. 10, Texas A&M. 11, Oklahoma. 12, Iowa State. Higher or lower for the Cyclones at 12?
And they're 4-0 because they played that week 0.
No, I think they are probably in the vicinity, and they should be somewhere between here and 16, somewhere like that. They got a close win against Kansas State, and the Kansas State team has been on the struggle bus since. They got a close win against Iowa. They only beat Arkansas State 24-16 last week. So from the Iowa State perspective, I would actually have them below probably Ole Miss. I'd have them below Utah. I'd have them below Texas Tech. Probably have them below Tennessee, too. So I would have them a little bit lower on this list. I think what's going to be really fascinating is what do we do with Texas, who was clearly, like, there's something not right with Arch, and they, so I don't know if it's mental or if Arvell Reese hurt him. That's in play, but he has not looked right at all, and they haven't looked good at all. Like, they don't look better than Texas A&M. They don't look better than Oklahoma. They don't look better than Ole Miss. They definitely don't look better than Florida State. But when they were here, they were pretty damn good. But something happened to him. I think until I hear to me, if it's mental, it's a much bigger issue. Quite honestly, if it's mental, if he's mentally struggling, that's even bigger with the pressure and all of it. But if you watch them play, folks, and they haven't really played anybody that would demand your attention. It ain't right.
So, Bo, just to answer your Texas question real quick for me, I have them at number 5. And I know, like, the offense doesn't look the part, but seeing that defense in person, that defense is really good. And that defense is going to travel and work well for them for a while. I know it doesn't look great with Arch, but I still have them at 5. Iowa State at 12. There's 3 teams that are below them that I want to ask you, if they played tomorrow on a neutral field, who do you think would win? If Iowa State played Utah, if they played Auburn, if they played Notre Dame, who do you think would win those games?
I'd take the 3 teams over all of them.
So for me, I have to have Iowa State lower, and that's kind of how I do this.
Auburn's the only one I'll hold on. Give me pause on Auburn. They play Oklahoma this week in a banger.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what that looks like.
So to me, Iowa State is down at least 15, maybe in the 16, 17, 18 range for me.
At 13, Ole Miss, 14, Alabama, 15, Tennessee. At 16, Utah, 17, their opponent this week, Texas Tech. Higher or lower for the Red Raiders at 17.
God, I love that game.
It's a great game.
I love how Texas Tech's come out of the gates. I love how Utah's come out of the gates. To me, those two, I like Utah more so far. But, I mean, Texas A&M, all you can do is beat the brakes off of the teams that you've played, and they have. They crushed Arkansas Pine Bluff 66-7. They crushed Kent State 62-14. They crushed Oregon State 45-14. We see that booster on every commercial break who's paying for their roster. Like you see him on every.
Is he
break.
paying for those ads too?
Yeah, he's paying for the ads. So like he's throwing a lot of money into college football. I like both of those teams better. I think Georgia Tech, who's just below them, ought to go up a little bit too. I'll tell you one that you mentioned in here. I think the Alabama. What happens with Alabama over the next couple of weeks is going to be interesting. They blew the brakes off of Luke, which we knew they would. They still can't run it, but Simpson is spinning it, and they've looked good the last couple of weeks, and I think Florida State has kind of validated them. They are off this week, and then they're at Georgia. So you're going to figure out, you'll figure out what they're all about in a couple of weeks.
I would love to see that Alabama-Florida State game again in week 9 or 10 and see what the outcome would be.
Yeah.
Because I think that was just, honestly, an experienced quarterback versus an inexperienced quarterback. I think Texas Tech is pretty close to where they should be, 17 or 18. You mentioned, Bo, they have played no one, but they have done what they're supposed to according to this show, and they have acted accordingly.
Yeah.
They have beaten those teams, and they have beaten them handily. Great game this week with Utah. Be able to tell a lot about both of those teams after this one.
How about that Saturday night next weekend? So we're the 3:30 game. The 2 primetime games are Georgia against Alabama and Oregon at Penn State.
Very nice Saturday.
That's a hell of a Saturday night. Mm-hmm. And I'll be curious to see who wins the ratings on those two, because that's network against network. That'll be ABC against NBC. I'll be fascinated to see where the attention goes on that, because it's so far. I don't know if you saw the numbers over the weekend from week 3 last week on the ESPN numbers. I mentioned that Tennessee-Georgia game is 14 million people. I mean, that's just a regular season game between two Southern teams. Crazy to draw that type of attention. You could argue that some of the expectations for college football teams are crazy too. Does one coach have a point? We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Fall is the perfect season to tackle those home improvement projects before the weather turns cold. And if new windows are on the list, see my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. And there's no limits, plus 0% financing for 3 whole years. And a double bonus, you get $500 off your entire home improvement project when you schedule now. Give them a call, 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hey, Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. It's time to ditch the traffic jams and the rat race and take in that crisp morning air, the crackle of a warm campfire. With RCD RV's Fall Into Adventure Sale, you can. September 15th through the 30th, you can cozy up to incredible deals. Sale pricing on all remaining new 2025 models. And RCD has travel trailers starting under $12,995, as well as pre-owned motorhomes priced under $39,995. Visit one of our 3 locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
This sports report brought to you by Bet365. Football is back. Get ready for the season at Bet365. When it comes to sports books, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun. Your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the super quick auto pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A hot summer day for us today. Make sure you stay hydrated with those afternoon workouts. Daytime highs getting into the upper 80s with plenty of sun. For tonight, overnight lows down into the 60s. We'll see some upper 50s as well with mostly clear skies, and then even warmer on Thursday with our highs in many spots getting right around 90 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Common Man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. The best hair on the air. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And we are proudly sponsored and brought to you by our great friends at Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 78 years. What are you entitled to as a college football fan? Well, it depends on the program, right? Different programs are entitled to different expectations. You can't get higher than what the expectations are around here. But there are other spots in the country that are at least in the vicinity of what we expect. And one of those over the last 10 or 20 years has been Clemson. where the Clemson Tigers, as a football operation, went from kind of a punchline, right? Tons of talent, couldn't win the big one. Clemsoning was something that absolutely happened. Could not win a big game. That was under Tommy. That was under Dabo, Tommy Bowden, then eventually on Dabo. And it was really Ohio State that changed that. When it's crazy. It's a forgettable bowl game for a great many of you. But the 2013 Orange Bowl was a game that put Clemson on a different trajectory. It was one of those bowl games that meant an awful lot to one of the teams. Not to suggest that anybody who played in it from the Ohio State side half-assed it. I'm not suggesting that. But it meant a lot to Clemson. And by beating Ohio State in that Orange Bowl, I think it set them up for Taj Boyd into Deshaun Watson, into Trevor Lawrence, played for 4 national titles, won 2 of them. It's possible that we also broke Clemson in 2020. It's possible that we maybe broke them with that beatdown that Justin put on him in one of the great quarterback performances we've ever seen. Where they are now is an interesting spot, because this was a year that when you looked at their roster, and Bake was big on them, and I was big on them too. You looked at the roster and you say, Clemson looks like they might be able to go. 4th-year starting quarterback, former pedigree is there with a former 5-star and all of that with Cade Klubnik. You get LSU at home. Let's see how good you are. Didn't look right, lost, but you're okay. And then struggle bus against Troy, down 16-0, and then losing at Georgia Tech last week. And it still don't look right. And so you have this situation where you have a legendary coach, 2-time national champion, who is being questioned on a weekly basis, including this week. Have a listen.
What's so bad about our program? What's so bad about it? Like, what's so bad about the worst season that we've had 14 years? How many programs in college football would sign up for one, and only once, 14 years of 9 wins? How many programs would sign up for that? In the playoffs, we all talk about, we've been 7 times in 10 years. Who can say that? If we stink because we haven't played for the national championship since January of 20, well, I guess we stink. Or we haven't won it since January of 19. We haven't won the national championship. Well, then I guess we stink. But why are we held to a different standard from all these other teams out there who ain't ever won nothing? If they want me gone, if they tired of winning, they can send me on their way, because that's all we've done is win. So if they tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking, is that good? I don't know if that's good or not. To win your league 8 out of 10 years, to go to the playoffs 7 out of 10 years, to be in 4 national championships, win it twice. Yeah, we live down right now. Take your shots, but I got a long memory, in case y'all don't know. We'll be all right. We'll bounce back. And hey, listen, I mean, if Clemson's tired of winning, they can send me on my way, but I'm gonna go somewhere else and coach. I ain't going to the beach. Hell, I'm 55. I got a long way to go. Y'all gonna have to deal with me for a while. I got a long way to go. I'm just getting going. I'm just now good enough to be a head coach. I'm just now figuring it out.
He sounds exactly like Bobby Bowden at the end of Florida State. When I got to Tallahassee, they were coming off of 14 years where they finished in the top 4 in the country and won the national title in 99 and played for it in 2000. They won 2 national titles during that period. It's a run that'll never be topped, honestly. If Saban couldn't do it, nobody will. To go 14 years and finish in the top 4 in the country every single year. That's what they did. That's what Bowden did at Florida State. If you look at, and after it started to fall off, it didn't fall off like a cliff. Like, it wasn't Nebraska after they fired Solich and it was like, oh my God, like, we're rudderless. It wasn't that. It wasn't Michigan after Carr. It wasn't like that. It wasn't, what happened at Tennessee at various times. It wasn't any of that. It was exactly what this is. It was all of a sudden 10-3 and 9-4. And it was gradual. And inevitably what happened is they hired Jimbo to come in and be coach in waiting offensive coordinator, and that flipped it. And then they wanted to add the national title with Jimbo, and then they didn't have money, and so we went to Texas A&M, and he got ranches, and everybody knows the story. But the big difference, it's so similar. I mean, that's exactly a press conference I remember Bobby Bowden having, exactly like that. The difference was Bobby Bowden was 75 when he was having that press conference. He wasn't 55. So it does go to the question of, though, what are you entitled to? And if you're in a position, and we could have this conversation about James Franklin, except James Franklin doesn't have the 2 national titles. You can have this conversation about Lincoln Riley. You can have this conversation about a lot of folks around the country. What are you entitled to? And if you are at a program like Clemson, which is, they're a little bit more the Netflix model is how they're going to have to fund this thing. Like they've got boosters, but they don't have billionaires. So they're going to have to Netflix it a little bit. And if you're Clemson, I do think he's got a point. You ought to be a little careful here because he's to the point now where he's almost as big as that brand. They might walk into a room hand in hand. He might got to the point where he's as big as Clemson football is. And that's a dangerous spot. And we've seen teams make the mistake with this. And I'm not suggesting you got to pay him $12 million for the next 10 years and he can go 10-4 every year. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying be careful what you wish for. And I do think he may have a little bit of a point.
Should give him that lifetime contract. You go, old Dabo. I do think it's fair to just ask question. And he goes like for 50 minutes plus, and a lot of it's that. I think it's fair to answer and ask questions about situations during the past 3 games that haven't gone well for Clemson. I also wonder for Dabo, maybe just answer the questions, because this is just a tangent he goes off of after answering, I think, a question about just holding on to the football. I think he's just brings this up. I'm not sure he needs to be kind of inviting this. I think just Dabo, he came out with an opening statement. He addressed some of the things. Then he answered questions, and some of the first questions were just about players, situations, like kind of a normal press conference. And then he goes into this. Yeah. And it's like, you don't need to do that, right? And I guess, for me, it obviously doesn't mean anything to tell a head coach that's as accomplished as Dabo is, because you ripped off his resume there in part of that cut. I think he talks about his national titles and national title appearances later on in the press conference, but don't invite these sorts of things, and I think that's what he's doing with this.
I think Dabo is right in what he's saying, but you're a little tone deaf here, and you need to read the room. Like, you're mentioning all these things that have happened, but you haven't been at the highest of the sport in 6 years now. I guess you played for it in 2020 in 5 years. Also, college football is changing, and you have not been adapting to it.
He's not. That's the biggest criticism.
We talk about they've changed a little, but still they only brought in 8 transfers last year to this team. Now, part of that is they brought a pretty good team, we thought, back. They brought a lot of their production back. You have not developed Cade Klubnik at all here. He actually looks worse this year than he did last year. And listen, I wonder what Ohio State would be without Jeremiah Smith, and they lost their number 1 receiver, Antonio Williams, and we can say, we think that would be fine, but we haven't seen a number 3 develop yet on this Ohio State roster. So I wonder what Ohio State would be without JJ, and they've been without their top receiver since the first quarter of the LSU game. But, Dabo, this doesn't look right. You can read off all of your accomplishments, but right now, this does not look right. You are 1-2, and you struggled with Troy. And you just lost a game to Georgia Tech, who I think Georgia Tech is a pretty damn good football team.
Yeah, they're all right, yeah.
You lost it with 2 timeouts in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like, you looked dumbfounded after that game, Dabo. Like, let's read the room here. This may not be the time to, although you're right, read off all of your accomplishments and be indignant that, hey, what else do you want? Well, where are you going to go?
Right. He is a victim of his own success. Because this is since 20, he went to 20 because that's the last time they lost. We beat him in the Sugar Bowl at the end of that season. They went 10-2. So he's gone 10-3, 11-3, 9-4, 10-4 in those years, and he's 1-2 to start this year. That is perfectly acceptable at Clemson forever. The problem with it is the run he had right before it. 14-1, 14-1, 12-2, 15-0, 14-1, 10-2, 2 national titles. That changed what Clemson people expect. Fair or not, he's a victim of his own success, because what they are now is what Clemson has been forever. That's what they are. 9-3. That's when I was down there. That's who they are. Lose 3 games every year. We'll ask Jake about this, among other things, as we go around college football in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Come join the Ford versus Ferrari Ultimate Car Show at Valley. Everyone's invited to see Ford GTs and Ferraris, plus tons of other local show cars up close this Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Drive-in car registration is open to all at Valley Ford of Columbus.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth, or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient, and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as a last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and getting back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
It's always a good day at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. September 18th through 21st at the Scarlet Course. PGA Tour's rising stars compete, Pub 13 drink specials, and more. Get free tickets today at ncc-golf.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
Indeed it is, and he joins on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Simple question, could be convoluted, could be complicated answer. Is there a great team in college football so far?
There might be some great teams. I don't know if there is one team that stands out above the others to this point. I think Ohio State justifiably is the number one team, but we still have question marks, right? Young quarterback, a lot of inexperience, so we'll see. You look elsewhere, like the teams that were highly ranked, like Penn State, Oregon, they haven't been tested yet. They will be when they play each other in a couple of weeks. And then, some of the teams that have great wins, like Miami would be one, LSU. I think they're in the conversation, but like even with LSU, it's not like they've been, completely dominant offensively, despite having Nussmeier quarterback. So it'll shake out. We've had a couple of weeks here where, there haven't been a ton of great games. Like last weekend slate was pretty blah. But we're getting ready to find out, who's who, especially as the conference season starts to heat up.
Yeah, I do think the reason I ask is the more that I thought about what we've seen through the first 3 weeks, the more I've thought about it, maybe every single thing that they have wanted with a 12-team playoff happened. Maybe it's all happened.
We're trying to change it. We're trying to change it.
Everything that they wanted kind of worked. Because of NIL, because of free portal, transfer, all of it, we kind of have an evening out of these rosters. And I think that if I were to tell you last year, if you and I are doing this segment, I say you can have Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, and Georgia, or the field, you'd go, yeah, I'll take those four. I don't know who the four are. And I think that the four could go all the way to 12, maybe.
You look at the SEC, Bo.
There you go.
I mean, there's 7 teams that could win the league this year. I think Oklahoma. I mean, I'm not optimistic about Texas right now, but outside of the quarterback, strangely enough,
right?
They have a conference championship caliber team. South Carolina got obliterated, but Lenora Sellers will be back. I'm not writing them off yet. Let's see. I mean, Alabama had the rough loss, not writing them off. Georgia obviously looks great.
Tennessee looks pretty
good. I was going to say Tennessee. Joey Aguilar played really well. I mean, they were kind of in command that game. I thought that they lost that game maybe more than Georgia won it. It felt like they really squandered some things late. The last drive from Tennessee, I didn't love. So, yeah, like Ole Miss, I'm probably getting a couple. LSU, did I say them?
You did. Yeah, we got them in.
Yeah, so there's
A&M
like
had a nice win.
Yes, A&M for sure. They've never won that game. They finally won it at Notre Dame and played really well. So, yeah, I mean, I think that the SEC alone is kind of a microcosm of college football. And, we'll see in the Big Ten. I don't think the list is quite as long, but Illinois has been really impressive. Mendoza with Indiana, has been impressive. Underwood didn't play great in the Oklahoma game, but, I think he's going to eventually show what he can do over the course of the season. And, I don't think Michigan should be counted out. And then obviously you've got, the Buckeyes, defending national champs, already beat Texas. And then, Penn State, Oregon, I think are, potentially elite. So, yeah, I think you look across just the conferences and, I can't really tell you who's going to win any of them at this point, ACC and Big 12 included.
I think it's just completely wide open. And I think there's a billion factors that I think the SEC thing, and I think we're going to start to see that in the Big Ten as well. But I think what you're seeing in the SEC is a guy who used to sit at Alabama is now going to go play, whether it's at Vanderbilt or Auburn or somewhere. I mean, the Auburn quarterback was a 5-star at Oklahoma, and so you just have this kind of all spread around throughout the country. One thing I wanted to ask you about, because there's a big game this week between Utah and Texas Tech. It's 10 local. It's a big noon. Your experience in the Big 12 and covering a program like Texas Tech, we know that they spent massively on this roster. We're reminded almost every commercial break of every college football game we watch that the guy who's responsible for that roster wants to corral around the college sports at the moment, and he thinks there's one simple fix to get it. What do you make of, because they are really it's kind of the land, I know that show Landman, it's kind of like they're the program that's really testing this at the highest level right now, of, hey, we've got a lot of money that we're willing to spend and look out for us. What can you tell me about that program, and what is the ceiling for what money can buy at Texas Tech?
What's the commercial amending the 1961 Sports Broadcasting Act? You're like,
that's it.
Does anybody have any idea what he's
talking about, dude?
I mean, that commercial does such a poor job of explaining what he's even. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it makes sense to amend a rule from the 60 years ago, even though nobody knows what the rule was or what it would mean going forward. Texas Tech, Lubbock, small West Texas college town. There's cotton fields everywhere around the stadium. When you're in the press box at Jones, you can literally see 10 miles in any direction. I mean, it is as flat as it gets. But it's a proud program. They've had, a lot of success here and there over the years, and not just, in the Patrick Mahomes era, the 70s and 80s, they played or 80s and 90s, I should say. Guys like, what was his name? Byron Hanspard. Really running back there, Mike Leach, the air raid. So they've got some tradition. Michael Crabtree catch against Texas, but they have kind of been dormant really since Mahomes left. And this is kind of the first time where people are talking about Texas Tech again in a way that nationally. And part of it is because they, along with LSU, signed the top portal class in college football. And you talk to people in the industry and, people that know kind of what they are paying. And I think it's pretty stark compared to other programs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some of these NIL deals have been grandfathered in, even with the House settlement, but they pay. Like, they are paying as much as the big boys right now. And we'll see if it leads to success. And this is a, huge game. I think the winner of this game, you're probably looking at them and Iowa State as kind of the early co-favorites in the Big 12. I don't know how great that Utah win over UCLA looks now. UCLA is a total disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats to Tennessee on winning that trade, by the way. But yeah, and they're winning a little bit differently. Texas Tech is not trying to beat you 70-50 like they did. When I was covering that team, they've got better defensive players, better defensive mindset. So we'll see what happens. That might be one of the 2 or 3 games of the week this weekend.
Well, yeah, that's where I'm going next for you. Like, so you got that one. If you could only watch one, you got that one at noon. You got Auburn in Norman against the beloved Sooners, and then you've got Michigan at Nebraska this weekend. Nebraska's 3-0. That's a massive. I feel like every couple of years, whoever the coach is at Nebraska, they have a massive home game where they have juice and momentum and all of it, and then they fall on their face. We've participated. Ohio State's participated in one of these games. They had game day there, and then they just got bombed like 60-0. Scott Frost was actually like, I wish you guys weren't here. I didn't need everybody seeing this. We weren't ready yet. So those are kind of the 3. Which one are you most curious about?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm curious about especially Michigan, Nebraska, and Oklahoma, Auburn. I've known Matt Rule and Dana Holgerson for a long time now. Dana, the OC there, and they're really good coaches, and they know what they're doing. And Nebraska has not. Speaking of not being able to win this game, Nebraska has not won this game since like Ndamukong Suh was there. It feels like they have just not won. When was the last time they won a big game, Bo?
They beat Florida in the 1996 national championship game.
Okay, you're going to Tommy Frazier. All right. I mean, they had moments in the 2000s with Eric Crouch.
They backed into the national title with Eric Crouch. They beat Oklahoma, didn't they, with Eric Crouch in like 2001?
2001, on a like a Philly special or halfback pass back to the quarterback.
That's probably the most
I think it was like, Jason White, I think it was number 1 versus number 2 or number 1 versus number 3. Anyway, they just haven't won a big game in like forever. And I think this would constitute a big win for them. I agree. This would be their best win in a very, very long time. And they have enough good players to be a factor. They just, for whatever reason, and I think it was the Illinois game last year where they had it won and just fell apart. It was like a Thursday night game late, and it kind of sent them on a little bit of a spiral. But you saw in the Iowa State game last year, like, they've got good players. They've had good players up front. They've had an injection of skill talent that I think has helped. And, Dylan Raiola was, one of the top quarterback recruits in the country a couple of years ago. He's a lot of experience now for a young player. So we'll see. Also, like Bryce Underwood going back on that game's in Lincoln, right? It is. Bryce Underwood going back on the road after, their entire offense just looked horrible in that OU game. Let's see, what they can do. And then you go to, Oklahoma, Auburn, and Jackson Arnold's played really well for the Tigers. He had absolutely no offensive line last year, and I think he lost his confidence and eventually lost the starting job to Michael Hawkins. But he played – I watched that Baylor-Auburn game. He played really well, I thought, in that game. He would probably love nothing more to win this one. And, if you're the Sooners, like, you got to win this game. There's just too many tough games on their schedule. Like, you start losing to the Auburns of the world, it gets really tough to get to 9 wins, which I think given their schedule, you get to 9, they're probably in the playoff. So, the Texas game looks a lot more winnable today than maybe it did a couple of weeks ago. But you can't overlook anyone in that conference. So I think it's not a great weekend. Like, we don't have the big boys necessarily playing each other, no top 10 matchup. But I think we have a lot of really important, 3, like you mentioned, really important games that I think could have a major bearing on who makes the playoff in the end.
Yeah, that 3:30 window is pretty awesome because that's Auburn and Oklahoma, and that's Michigan, Nebraska. They're both in the 3:30 window, so that's kind of your window of fun ones to watch. Appreciate your time as always, buddy. We'll do it again next week.
All right, we'll talk Browns next week, but no, just kidding. See you, Bo.
He gets that in. Jake Trotter, senior college football writer, reporter at ESPN, joining on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We'll do Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And today we're in my showroom so you can hear how our windows keep sound out.
It's pretty loud in here, Wilson.
Well, Leslie, that's because the window's open. But if you close it like so... well, it's kind of good to let in a little nature.
I think nature just honked at us, Wilson. Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at BobcatENT.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises, Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you.
Hey, it's Anthony. Tailgating, hiking stadium stairs, going out after the games. It's a great time of year. It's also the time of year I'm on my feet a lot. And there won't be a time when I don't have my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store in my shoes. They make all the difference for me. They help my feet, my hips, my back. They're not just like regular insoles. They're designed so I get firm yet flexible function. They actually correct poor foot biomechanics and give me even more comfort. The fitting process is simple. From the moment you walk in, the Good Feet store will personalize the process. From the pain that brought you to them in the first place to your lifestyle needs. They'll properly measure your feet and arch size. Then take the free test walk. If you love them, wear them home like I did. Your new arch supports will help you begin living the life you love without your feet getting in the way. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City and learn more at goodfeet.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. It's time to ditch the traffic jams and the rat race and take in that crisp morning air, the crackle of a warm campfire. With RCD RV's Fall Into Adventure sale, you can. September 15th through the 30th, you can cozy up to incredible deals. Sale pricing on all remaining new 2025 models. And RCD has travel trailers starting under $12,995, as well as pre-owned motorhomes priced under $39,995. Visit one of our 3 locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Wake up and laugh with the Bob and Tom Show on The Fan 2.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
It says here they've won 5 Marconi Awards. I can't even spell Marconi. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Bob and Tom Show.
He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! This is what the Buckeyes train so hard for.
Just like Valvoline Instant Oil Change, their techs train like pros to deliver expert service every time.
Wait, are we talking about football or oil changes?
Both. Whether it's the Buckeyes on the field or your car in the bay, it's all about preparation and precision.
Can't argue with that.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit VIOC.com/Buckeyes today.
Did you know that Byers Airport Subaru is the oldest Subaru retailer in the entire country? And we're conveniently located right by the airport. We take pride in treating every customer like family because that's what's kept us around for generations. Right now, drive home a new 2025 Subaru Outback for 1.9% for up to 72 months. Start your journey today at ColumbusSubaru.com. Byers Auto, driving the next generation of buyers. Subject to credit approval. Financing offer term up to 72 months on 2025 Subaru Outback. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. See dealer for details. Offer ends 9/30/25.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie. And once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
That's right. Time for a little thing or not a thing on a First Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
On Tuesday, the NFL said that Tom Brady did not violate any league rules by wearing a headset in the Raiders coaching booth during Monday night's game. The NFL said in the statement that Brady is, quote, prohibited from going to a team facility for practices or production meetings. He may attend those meetings remotely, but may not attend in person at the team facility or the hotel. He may also conduct an interview off-site with a player like he did last year a couple of times, including the Super Bowl. The NFL said Brady's also allowed to sit in the coach's booth. That's totally cool. ESPN, I think a couple of times, had mentioned that he met with Chip Kelly at least 3 times a week. Pete Carroll, first-time Raiders head coach, said Monday that report is not accurate. From Carroll, quote, we have conversations. I talk to Tom. Chip talks to Tom regularly. We have a tremendous asset, and we get along and respect each other. We just talk about life and football. He has great insight, so we're lucky to have him as an owner. Brady's going to call the Week 3 matchup between the Cowboys and the Bears. The Raiders play the Bears that following week. Thing or not a thing?
Oh, yeah. I can just see, like, Chip and Pete in a conference room. Hey, bring Tom in here. Bring Tom in here. Like on a game plan, a big game plan Wednesday. You know, nice first Friday, massive first practice of the week. Hey, bring Tom in here. We got some spare time. Hey, Tom, what was it like dating a supermodel and marrying her? What was that like? As they talk about life. Give me a break. This is ridiculous. Look, I don't know what the NFL... this doesn't surprise me that the NFL came out with this stance on this because they've okayed it. But if I were another owner, I'd have a big problem with it. And I think it's justifiable to have a big problem with it. And to me, the NFL at the end of this season needs to say to Tom, you can own the Raiders and have he clearly has a very active role with the Las Vegas Raiders, or you can be the face of Fox, the network. You have a choice, one or the other. You can pick, but you can't do both.
If I was Fox, I would have a problem with this as well because... And granted, this isn't the NFL, but like when I go out to practices for high school teams and talk to coaches or I'm calling their game or whatnot, there's a lot of times where a coach will tell you something like, hey, you know, this is going on, this or here, you know, don't really say anything, but you can use it in the broadcast, whatever. Maybe he's not going to get those nuggets. Right? That they're not going to feel comfortable because maybe he will take that back to the team. It just seems like a really big conflict of interest all the way around. And Brady's already super smart with football. Like, he can say things anyway. Yeah. But if he hears certain things, or, hey, guys, I heard maybe this guy's dealing with this, you could do this to him. And it all seems like it shouldn't be happening.
No, it shouldn't be. It's crazy.
It's funny. The NFL also in that statement yesterday kind of threw it back at the teams. It's up to the club, coach, or players to determine what they say in those sessions. End quote.
Yeah.
Well, and like I just said, maybe they're not going to be saying as much. Maybe Fox isn't going to get as much inside information as normally they would.
I often wonder, like, do you need it?
Maybe not.
In today's day and age, I understood them in the old days where information was harder to come by. So much information is out there now. Do you really need 15 minutes with Myles Garrett to get a handle on what the Browns are trying to do defensively for like a 12-second anecdote in between plays? I don't know. I don't know if they're even necessary anymore.
Yesterday afternoon, it was reported that Warner Brothers has given Heat 2 the green light for 2026. Michael Mann's...
Wait, hold on.
Well, there's a Heat 1?
Is it? All right, get him off the show. Get him out of here.
I think they're calling it Heat 2. More Heat.
Get Bake out of here. Are you the movie?
I don't know this movie.
Really?
No.
Hold on. Okay, that's a thing.
Which one are we doing here? Do we want to do the movie itself or Baker not knowing about Heat?
I just went Pepe Sylvia. I don't even know how to go. This is right after Matt comes in and says, Charlie, all these people exist and they all want their mail. That's my headspace right now. You've not seen Heat?
No, I don't even believe I've ever heard of Heat.
I don't even know how that's possible. It's De Niro and Pacino. Heist movie, Los Angeles. Michael Mann's the director. It's one of the best movies of the last 50 years.
Put that on the list of things I'll need to check out.
And Kilmer, R.I.P.
Yeah, Kilmer. Height of his powers.
So Heat 2's getting the green light. Michael Mann's going to direct it. It's going to star Leonardo DiCaprio as a younger Al Pacino, Adam Driver as a younger Robert De Niro, and Austin Butler as a young Val Kilmer. Thing or not a thing?
God. So this is going to be set in the 70s? Probably.
I mean, it sets up for a banger.
Oh, my goodness. How did they get that cast? They got DiCaprio? Is he going to... I wonder... I hope he doesn't try to, like, do the Pacino mannerisms or anything, and I hope the same... Driver could probably do some of the De Niro stuff. I hope DiCaprio doesn't try to, you know, changes the way he goes to imitate a young Pacino. I mean, this is a huge thing. I don't even know how to begin. I don't really know how to continue on, Bake, that you haven't seen Heat. It was one of the biggest movies of the 90s.
So its budget in 95 was $60 million. It made $187 million in the box office.
I'm going to say thing since you guys say it's a thing.
You got to watch it, man. It's great. It holds up. It holds up. It's long. I want to say it approaches 3 hours. That's my
171 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's long, but there's not a second to rest. That's a big moment. That's crushing it as well as you can crush it on the casting too. That's pretty good. Driver, DiCaprio, and Austin Butler in those roles. That's pretty good. In the 70s, God, that would be amazing if it's set in the late 70s or early 80s. That would be a home run. We'll do a little Hey Guys final hour coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Scotty Vegas here. Smartest bet of the season? Bet on yourself. I needed a weight loss plan that fit into real life. Tailgates, road trips, kids' nights, and still lets you eat. Week 1 with Awaken 180, I was down 6. By the end, 45 pounds gone. That's with wings, chili, meatballs, sausages, all the good stuff. It's the Tailgate transformation. Structure, coaching, and food that tastes like a win. Make the smart play. Start your Tailgate transformation at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, Columbus, it's T-Bone for Window Nation. Now is the best time of year to buy new windows. Whether you have old, drafty windows or maybe just the cheap builder's grade ones your house came with, September is the perfect month to protect your home against another cold, snowy winter. And right now, Window Nation is offering their most popular offer. Buy 2 replacement windows, get 2 for free. Plus, you won't pay any interest, monthly payments, or down payment for 2 years. You heard that right. Window Nation gives you the option to pay nothing until 2027. Are you a Buckeye fan? Well, when you replace all the windows in your home, Window Nation will also give you 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game. With Window Nation, you get top quality windows from a trusted company, and it's all at a reasonable price because they know replacing windows is an investment, and they want to make it affordable for you. Don't miss Window Nation's most popular offer. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And remember, you'll pay nothing for 2 years. Hurry, Columbus, this sale won't last forever. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to get your free quote.
Dormar, you're kind of hero. When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Oven-baked French toast. Hot, melty cheese. And meat. And meat. And meat. Introducing UDF's new 3-meat French toast sandwich. Sweet and savory cinnamon swirl French toast piled with thick cut bacon, natural pork sausage, and smoky Canadian bacon. It's the newest flavor in our lineup of breakfast sandwiches. All stacked fresh, all served hot, and all made in store to make your morning. The new 3-meat French toast sandwich from UDF. Mornings made for you.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Ford versus Ferrari. It's the ultimate showdown, and it's coming to Valley Ford of Columbus. Experience the thrill of Ford GTs and Ferraris for your up-close viewing at the Ultimate Car Show. This Friday, September 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. Everyone's invited to marvel at these iconic machines and enjoy live music and food trucks. Show off your special car, too. All makes and models are welcome. Register at the show or online, valleyfordofcolumbus.com. It's the official dealership of Carnell Tate. Be there.
Script Ohio necklaces, Blocko earrings, Ohio State bangles, and more. You'll find an exclusive collection of luxury Buckeye jewelry you'll love at the Diamond Cellar, starting at $99. Show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1, Ohio State's on a bye this week. It's the first of 2 bye weeks for the Buckeyes this season. First road start for Julian Sain will come next Saturday when Ohio State's at Washington for a 3:30 kick. The Huskies are 2-0 and will play at Washington State Saturday night at 7:30. In the NFL, Week 3 starts tomorrow night in Buffalo. The 2-0 Bills host the 0-2 Dolphins at 8:15. In soccer tonight, the Columbus Crew play at NYCFC. Kickoff from Yankee Stadium, 7:30. That game was supposed to be played back in August over at Citi Field. Columbus will be without Diego Rossi, who's dealing with an injured hamstring. Crew back at Lower.com Field Saturday, hosting Toronto. And in baseball, the Reds have 11 games left in the season. Cincinnati's 3 back in the NL wildcard. Redlegs and Cardinals battle today at 1:15. You can hear that game over on the Fan, too. That's 1460 on the AM dial. The Ryan Day Radio Show comes your way tomorrow at noon right here on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday. Time for a little Hey Guys. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Dime, drink, distill at High Bank Distillery Co. Learn more at highbankco.com.
Diego Rossi out for the Crew tonight, not Rossi. That's silly update anchor.
Oh, you hate to see that. By the way, it is a Hey Guys, and it's important for me to tell you that the winner here gets a $50 gift card to our great pens at High Bank, the free distillery tour and the tasting for up to 10. Home of the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Go ahead, Reese.
So we are answering questions from the YouTube chat. I want to say it's Kurt who has an update about Heat and Heat 2, which we could call Too Hot.
Okay.
We'll have to get to that a little later because it's not really a Hey Guys question, but it adds some clarification as to what Heat 2 is going to be like. Yes.
Okay.
A prequel and a sequel. So to explain just with the little time that I can, because our Hey Guys questions are extra important for this segment. Dan asks, hey guys, what's your dream broadcasting crew? He says he'll give us 3 in the booth and 1 sideline reporter.
I don't need 3 in the booth. My favorite is Vern Lundquist and damn near anyone you want. But give me Uncle Vern and Bill. I'll tell you probably the best booth. This is a 3-man booth, so I lied. This is probably the most fun booth you're ever going to have. But you didn't get it much. Vern Lundquist, Bill Raftery, and Jay Billis on the NCAA tournament. ESPN lent Billis to CBS for a couple of NCAA tournaments before they went with the True TV, TNT, TBS, and it was magic. It was so good. The other one that's really good is Al Michaels with anybody on the NFL, but most especially with John Madden. Summerall and Madden are perfect. That's my youth, hearing those two guys call the biggest games. So those are some of the ones that jump out at me.
Yeah, there's different ones for different sports, right?
Yeah.
Summerall and Madden were great, My favorite football play-by-play of all time was Keith Jackson.
Oh, gosh.
I think Jackson and Madden together might be too much, but I'd love to see it.
He was with Fouts at the end, wasn't he?
Fouts a lot, yeah. That's
Keith
what
Jackson
I remember.
Was with Fouts at the end, yeah.
So if I can team those two up, give me Jackson and Madden, and I don't think it matters who's on the sideline, quite frankly. In basketball, man, I love Nessler and Vitale when they got to do it together. And again, for basketball, it doesn't matter to me who is on the sideline. Hockey, give me Doc Emmerich, Eddie Olchuk, and Pierre Maguire. I could sub in Darren Pang for Pierre Maguire, but give me those three. That would be great. And in baseball, give me Vin Scully or Marty Brenneman anytime. I don't need anybody else. I don't even need a color guy. Just give me those two.
Jack Buck was damn good. Nance on golf is undefeated.
In any of those combinations, Baker, that you just threw out, just give me Tony Saragusa either on the sideline or ringside or courtside, just in a gigantic coat.
Now, I can guarantee you.
Just stand there in the end zone.
I can guarantee you Goose and Madden together is too much.
That's a lot of heft.
That's a lot, yeah.
Ryan asks on Twitter, hey guys, with Bo taking the trip down the Teen Wolf lane, what 80s or 90s childhood movie that you held in high regard while watching it now as an adult is absolutely ridiculous? He throws out Howard the Duck.
I mean, Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf's insane. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. Another one that's absurd, but I love it, is Roadhouse. I mean, that's just crazy. Everything that happens in that is just absolutely bonkers, but it's so enjoyable. I don't know if there's one. I think what he's looking for is there one you loved as a kid that you look back on and go, yeah, this sucks. I think Willy Wonka sucks, but I thought it sucked as a kid.
Yeah.
I think Wizard of Oz sucks, but I thought that sucked as a kid. Trying to think of anything that I propped up as a kid that doesn't hold up. I'll have to think on that. I think most of them do, though.
I think there's quite a few Disney movies that I look back on now, and I'm like, yeah, that's not as good as I remembered it as a kid, but I think that's pretty normal for some of that. I will say this, and I knew it was ridiculous at the time, and I'll still watch them every time. Home Alone 1 and 2, those are the most unrealistic movies ever, but they're so good. But as you get older, you even think, and even at the time, I was like, there's no way this is happening. But as you get older, it's like, yeah, that is so far-fetched, it's unreal.
Yeah. We did Back to the Future, the trilogy, recently.
Okay.
And 2 does not hold up nearly as well as 1 and 3. 2's
It's
bad.
interesting you say that because some people tried to make. I've heard people in recent years say that 2 is the best of the 3.
It is not.
1's clearly the best.
Yes.
But I actually enjoyed 3, even in the moment. I haven't seen the 2 or 3 in forever, but I enjoyed 3 more in the moment than I did 2 by a pretty wide margin.
Yeah, we're gonna rank them. Which, boy, that's a sports talk radio thing to do. It'd be Back to the Future 3, and then Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
Like a chasm between.
Yeah. I'll tell you what gets you when you watch those movies is when you forget the threshold for PG-13 in those days. There was some aggressive stuff that happened in Teen Wolf, and I don't even know if it was PG-13. Teen Wolf might have been PG.
Bud in Hilliard asks on Twitter, before the game last Saturday night, my wife thought it would be a good idea to cook up a pot of chili. She thought I was crazy when I told her we are a good 4 to 6 weeks out to even consider chili. She thought I was crazy. Am I?
No, you're right. You're right. Now, I feel different if you're going to go to a place in a drive-through situation and grab a bowl of chili. That's a little different than the experience of making chili at home. So I'm with you on this. I do think you are. I think it's a little too soon.
So I think anytime the weather kind of changes a little bit and you get that fall feel, there are things that you kind of really get a hankering for, that you really want, that just makes you think of that time of year. So I'm not the biggest chili fan, but I can understand why people would do that. I will say this, when people talk about soup weather, which I think a lot of time is like fall, every time we hit that kind of weather, man, I crave some Max and Irma's tortilla soup. can't get enough of it.
So it's interesting. I don't feel the same about soup as I do about chili. I can do soup year-round.
I can too. I'm just saying, like a lot of people, when you get, and there's certain times when you're like, man, a soup would be good right now. And I think a lot of times those are when the weather is a little cooler out.
Yeah.
Chris asks on YouTube, with Ohio State being on a bye this week, what's your family activity to keep the significant other happy? Like a pumpkin patch, apple picking, etc.
Love a fall festival, but I think we're a little too warm for that now. We're going to play golf. We haven't played golf the last 2 weekends. We've watched a ton of football the last 2 weekends. It's funny, as we were doing the topic with Jake and we were talking about those 3:30 windows. To me, 3:30 is my least favorite now because it kind of takes your whole day. I feel like noon, in terms of like at home, not atmosphere or any of those things, it's a different conversation, but just in terms of like, for me to view it, noon, I have an evening, 8 o'clock, 7:30, I have a day. 3:30, I feel like both are robbed of me. And so that's my least favorite of the three now that as I've gotten older. So as I was talking to Jake, though, I want to watch, I'm going to watch the 3:30 window this week. So I'm going to watch that Auburn-Oklahoma game, and I want to see what was the other one that was in that window that's a good one? Why am I blanking? The other good one at 3:30 is Michigan-Nebraska. That's the window I want to watch.
So, I don't have a significant other right now, but in the past, it was always a time to do whatever they wanted. Anything that needed done around the house or whatever, want to go hang out with family, friends, just whatever you wanted to do, let's go do it this weekend.
G Money asks in the YouTube chat, hey guys, my wife uses Q-tips to clean her nostrils. That's weird, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't think it's that weird, is it? Like, what's the difference between that and like taking a
Kleenex?
You blow your nose, or you roll up Have you ever like balled
you can't
up
blow your ears. That's why you have to use the Q-tip.
But you ever balled up a Kleenex though and put it in your nose to try to clean something out of it?
No, I was going to say like to block it, like a nosebleed or a runny nose.
I don't think it's weird.
If it's something that's pesky, I mean, we're all friends here. You're just picking it. I mean, that's just it. I mean, that's just
pick it and flick it.
What it is. Like anybody who says they don't pick their noses, of course you do. Yes, you do. Of course.
A little Jim Harbaugh action there.
Yeah, of course. Just get it out.
Dick
no
and
one's
Frickle.
looking. Get it out. Nothing. Nobody gets hurt here.
All right, we got to pick a winner.
Which one spoke to you, Reese?
What was the, who was it that did the 80s, 90s movie?
So that was Ryan.
That was pretty good.
I like that one, yeah.
That's a good name, too, Ryan. I like that.
All right, there you go. Ryan, you're the big winner in the bar tonight. It's a nice one. You get that $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank, the free distillery tour and tasting for up to 10. It's home of the best blended whiskey in America. 3 years running, it's located right here in town. High Bank's 3 locations, Grandview, Gahanna, Westerville. Enjoy their award-winning spirits for your next happy hour. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local, drink High Bank. The bourbon, I believe, drops Friday with our great friends at High Bank.
Ooh.
I believe it drops Friday.
Batch number 3, huh?
I believe that to be correct. Absolutely. Rothman had a stat yesterday that quite honestly blew my mind. I'll see if it blows yours coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
It's always a good day at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. September 18th through 21st at the Scarlet Course. PGA Tour's rising stars compete, Hub 13 drink specials, and more. Get free tickets today at ncc-golf.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year, no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
The Fan 2 is on the air. Catch the Bob and Tom Show in the morning and Jim Rome in the afternoon. And Buckeye stuff and Reds 2 in the NFL. It's lots of stuff. You get the picture. It's the Fan 2 live on 1460 AM, the Fan app, and the Fan's HD2.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you picked match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports ball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A hot summer day for us today. Make sure you stay hydrated with those afternoon workouts. Daytime highs getting into the upper 80s with plenty of sun. For tonight, overnight lows down into the 60s. We'll see some upper 50s as well with mostly clear skies, and then even warmer on Thursday with our highs in many spots getting right around 90 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The Big 9 was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. The final season of Yellowstone might just be Bo's dad live on YouTube. What's the difference anyway? This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is. The Capital Florida Columbus High School football game of the week takes us to Westerville North Friday. The Warriors host Delaware. Coverage starts at 6:30 with the kick at 7. After the game, it's Byers Subaru Dublin's overtime with Bake and Lee. It's Friday nights there for high school football right here on The Fan. All right, you had some Heat updates you wanted to get to us, Reese?
Yeah, so Heat 2 is coming out, or at least it got the green light in 2026. It was a novel that came out in 2022, and it was written by Michael Mann, who directed the first Heat back in 1995. Okay. This is a prequel and a sequel. Wikipedia says a non-linear narrative following the events and preceding the events of the 1999 film. So 1998 is where it's going to start from, and at least in the movie, it jumped. At least in the book, I should say, it jumped around.
How is there a sequel to it? I mean, other than Bake, I think anybody who cares about it's seen it. So how do you, we know how it ends. I mean, I guess Kilmer's character is
right
still
so there's
upright.
A wounded character. I don't want to spoil it because if you haven't, it's terrific if you haven't seen it. So go see Heat.
But what is what is our threshold for that now?
Yeah, no, that's true. So 95, Vincent hunts Chris, who's the sole survivor of Neil's gang after the botched bank robbery.
Right. What I'm curious about is what is the threshold for spoilers? So
I give it a month.
I was listening to Dylan that last week. He was talking about on with Brother Bone and Nephew Tybus. He was having a conversation about the thing that he got most excited for in the last few years was the Game of Thrones, like what was happening in the penultimate episodes and Battle of Winterfell, all of those things. That was the big thing that got him most excited. And I was thinking to myself, and he goes, spoiler alert, and then he said what happened at the end of Game of Thrones. Like, those episodes aired a decade ago, but in today's day and age, where sometimes if you don't catch something in the moment, you can miss it entirely. Is there a threshold on how long something can be spoiled? Do you have to say spoiler alert on a movie from 1995? Because there's a prequel coming out. I would say if there wasn't a prequel coming out, no. Like, if you wanted to see it, you should have seen it by now. You should have got wind of it. But we do live in a world now where in another era, things would just show up, like what happened last night to me with Teen Wolf, where things would just show up on your cable and you would watch something for the 50th time, or you'd say, wow, what's this? How did I miss this the last time through? Now, if you want to see a movie like Heat, you have to seek it out. You got to figure out which app it's on, because those apps are programmed to feed you things that are like the other things you previously watched in the app. So, like, how would even Heat show up in an algorithm? If Bake's got Netflix and they're giving him all the things that he likes from a content standpoint, if Heat's on Netflix, I don't know if it is or not, but if it was, how would it ever come into his purview? And the same thing I would say about Game of Thrones. Like, how are you just now discovering Game of Thrones? That show, by the way, you want to talk about a show that I haven't heard anybody say they're rewatching from front to back? It's that one. I've heard a lot of people do it with The Wire, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Mad Men. A lot of people will have rewatched those. Some of that happened during the pandemic. I haven't heard anybody say, yeah, I'm going to run back through Game of Thrones. So I don't know what the threshold is on spoiler anymore. I think we're to the point where everything is kind of spoilerable now because we just kind of stay in our entertainment silos a little bit.
Looks like you got 13 days to watch Heat on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it's still on Prime?
Yeah. I think it's on Netflix, but it's one of those things where this isn't available in your country. So.
Oh, I gotcha.
Thanks for that.
I gotcha. All right. Yesterday, Rothman had an incredible stat. I don't know if you guys were listening when he went over this, but if you haven't, we'll play a little game of Guess the Stats. As he did this with Maddie and Cole. What percentage of teams that start 0-2 since 1990 make the postseason?
Percentage?
Percentage of teams that start 0-2 in a 6-team and now 17-game playoff.
12.
Think?
I feel like I feel like this is a trick question, and it might be like a lot higher than we thought, but maybe not.
Don't prices right me.
17%.
All right.
So, Reese, if you didn't listen, then you need to go to Las Vegas right now because you nailed it. It's exactly 12. 12% of teams that go 0-2 since 1990 make the playoffs. Now, what's even crazier is when it goes to 7 teams in the postseason, it remains at 12. And since 2000, teams that go 0-2, only 5 of them, out of the 41 that have, only 5 of them have made the postseason. One of them was the Ravens last year. So that kind of blew my mind because of A, how much data that is, and because of B, this is a 17-game season. And you're telling me anybody that's 0-2 right now, there's an 88% chance that their season is lost? In a 17-game season? It just seems hard to wrap your head around. So the 0-2 teams this year, Jets, Dolphins, Browns, Texans, Titans, Kansas City Chiefs, Giants, Bears, Saints, Panthers. That's it. That's the list. Do we really think Kansas City's not making the postseason? Can you go from 15-2 in the Super Bowl to missing?
They're the only team, right?
Well, them and Houston are the two that you would say, if I got to pick somebody to roll with, it would be those two.
They can't protect CJ again.
No, and he looks a little broke, to be fair. The two throws he threw in that, they went for it on fourth down inside their own 5, inside their own 3. And the two throws that he threw into the end zone gave the receivers no chance. So I love him, but it's not gone well for him there. But those are the only two that make any sense. But are we really at a point where the Kansas City Chiefs are cooked at 0-2? Here's their schedule. They can get healthy here. They are at the Giants this week. That's clearly a must-win. Then they have Ravens at home. Good luck with that. Feels like they'd be 1-3. Then they're at Jacksonville. Clearly must-win. Then it's Detroit at home, Raiders at home, Commies at home, at Bills. To me, by the time they play the Bills, they've got to be 500. And that's on the first Saturday in November.
Any other? It's weird because like any other team, you're thinking they're cooked right now with that schedule that you just read too.
Mm-hmm.
Added the 0-2 start and then the schedule, but I can't quit Mahomes.
No, you'd be silly to.
Because even last time out against the Eagles, you're looking at Travis Kelce and going, maybe it's not. Maybe you're done. Maybe you're kind of cooked, bud.
Yeah,
he's all they've got.
They don't have anything that's scary on the outside. I mean, they're down their top 2 receivers. They can't run it. They've gotten some big problems, but it's just this notion of them going to 15-2 and playing for the Super Bowl to missing the postseason. It's hard to wrap your head around that at this point with Mahomes. But yeah, they've got to get going a little bit. Houston's the only other one. The rest of those teams, to me, kind of all make sense at being where they are, and I think they all have very different expectations for what their seasons were supposed to be. Conversely, is there a 2-0 team that you don't like? Here are the list of the 2-0 teams: Buffalo, Cincinnati, Indy. I mean, this is a list: Chargers, Eagles, Packers, Buccaneers, Niners, Cardinals, Rams.
Probably Cardinals on that list.
Yeah, I think that's the one most people would think of.
Colts have the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that helps them. The Cardinals have the NFC West.
To me, I'm still not there with the Colts. I still need to see it. And Cincinnati without Burrow is a different story, right? And that's an injury thing there. Yeah. But Cincinnati 2-0 is fool's gold to me with no Joe Burrow.
They just have to be 500 when he gets back. That's it. They have got to be 500 when he gets back. If they do, then they still have a chance. That's all that matters for them. And it is Arizona. Arizona's the one where, you can't start easier than Saints, Panthers.
Bo, real quick, your point on the Chiefs, by the way.
Yeah.
At ESPN Bet right now, they are minus 190 to make the playoffs still. So ESPN Bet is still believing in the Kansas City Chiefs as of now. On the other side, though, with the Houston Texans, who we mentioned, they're plus 140.
Yeah. The Texan, the way the Houston, coming out of CJ's rookie year, they made the playoffs last year, but it didn't really look right. They did make the postseason last year, did they not?
Yeah, I believe they lost to Kansas City in the divisional round.
Yeah, they went 10-7. They won that division at 10-7. That's the other thing to look at is what does it take to win a division? So last year, the AFC West had 3 teams in the postseason. Kansas City was 15-2, the Chargers were 11-6, and Denver was 10-7. 3 of those got in. So that's something to look forward to. It's just amazing to me. It really blew my mind, that stat, because you think about how long a season is in the NFL, and that it can all be over for the most part. 88% chance it's all over 2 weeks in. Wild. And certainly you can't go to 0-3. That's an entirely different ballgame there. Justifiable crime. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Don't miss the Ultimate Car Show tomorrow night at Valley Ford of Columbus. It's Ford GTs versus classic Ferraris, food trucks, live music, and tons of show cars. Everyone's invited. Drive your car in to show it off. This Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. at Valley Ford of Columbus.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Get the MVP, more value price from Coughlin Chevrolet. Lease a new 2026 Chevy Trailblazer, only $198 a month. New 26 Chevy Equinox, $239 a month. Or a new 26 Silverado, just $399 a month. Visit CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 9/30/25.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, this is from WFTV down in Orlando. I'm just going to read it directly. Investigators are searching for a man who they say robbed a popular Disney Springs restaurant by swimming up in scuba gear and a wetsuit and then swimming away after he stole thousands of dollars. The robber hit the Paddlefish restaurant shortly after midnight on Monday after it closed to guests, according to a report released by the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Deputies say the man himself found a place to store his wetsuit and scuba gear before walking into the manager's office. The cash for the night was being counted and deposited into a safe. The report shows that the man forced 2 employees to go to the corner of the room and told them to close their eyes. The report is heavily redacted, but sources familiar with the investigation says he tied the employees up. That's harrowing, obviously. No one was harmed in this, though, other than the business. The man stole between $10,000 and $20,000 per the pending charge. The employee said he left within 2 minutes. They called 911 after freeing themselves. Neither of the employees were hurt, and the man did not brandish any weapons. The report said after leaving the replica steamboat, investigators believe the man donned his scuba gear and jumped back into the pond. 2 questions. 1, if you've been to Disney World with your family, does this please you? That somebody stole from them. Because when you go there, you are robbed blind. Now, you're paying for an experience, and it's mostly pretty great, but my God, are you paying? The other thing I thought when I saw this story was, is this an inside job?
That was the first thing I thought. Because there's images of this guy who is spray painting cameras. Like he's spray painting over cameras.
Yeah.
And he looks like, I'm trying to remember, it's Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and the villain that they face in SpongeBob, he looks just like him. But this is an inside job. He knows it. It's like he knows what everything is.
Have you ever? So he probably wouldn't need a wetsuit because it's Florida. So he wouldn't need a wetsuit to like stay warm or anything. The water's got to be 80 plus degrees. So he probably doesn't need a wetsuit. But scuba gear is noticeable. And he would have to have enough air in the tank to get to where he could get out. Furthermore, Disney Springs, I was there 2 years ago. It's actually not in the parks. It's actually like their restaurant, shopping. That was the place where, if for the loyal listeners, I told Bootsy when we went down to Disney World, I said, you can get 2 stuffed animals. 2, that's it. That's the list. And he got 2 inside the park. And on our last day before we flew out, we went to Disney Springs, and they have a Disney store in there to stop all Disney stores. And on the back wall of it, approximately the size of a football field, is a wall of stuffed animals. And as young Bootsy walked in, he just looked at it, his jaw dropped, tears welled up in his eyes, and he just goes, "Oh, come on." So that's what Disney Springs is. It's shopping and it's restaurants.
So it says here it says that the cameras showed him pushing the employees into the corner of the room and told them to close their eyes. And then it says familiar with the investigation said he tied them up. Mm-hmm. And then the employees somehow got untied and called 911. Like, yeah, there's a lot of issues here. Like, how much do these 2 employees get from Scuba Steve here?
It's like the ultimate Florida man inside
Scuba
job.
Steve.
Also, that's dangerous, right? Swimming in any water in Florida, like there's gators there, right?
Not if you're familiar with it.
Man-made Disney, though. So
maybe they keep them out.
Yeah, I'm guessing not. But here's the other thing: like even as you jump in the water, if memory serves, I don't think like the springs around Disney Springs are like connected to a waterway. So it's not like you're going to be like scuba for a mile and a half to get away from it all. Like he wasn't going to go far. Is my point. Like there's not a whole lot of ways to go. And there's got to be security everywhere. So to me, it feels like inside job. Absolutely. What is one entity in your life that you would steal from, and the cops aren't listening, Reese, that you would steal from and not feel guilty about it?
Huh. I mean, I'm sitting...
Other than your bad boy streams.
Well...
I mean, I was going to say the
NFL.
That was on a tee.
I mean, if someone hypothetically had a device where they could get pretty much any kind of entertainment they wanted on it, I don't know if I'd feel too bad about that.
No, I would not feel bad at all stealing from the NFL.
If someone maybe fudged some things come April,
give me some of them pilot flying J-Bucks,
and they weren't winning they weren't earning as much money as maybe they had, I don't know if I'd feel too terrible about that.
Be all right.
Just, I mean, do it legally, right? But
I'm hard on Disney because I had to pay for the bill for Disney. I will say, though, that there's no way any of it could be worth it because it just doesn't make sense. What you pay to go there, it doesn't. It defies all logic. And I did read here that I think it was at the beginning of the summer that they are they're rethinking a little bit of what the rate is to walk into the joint and how much Here's what I would say, though. I paid an absurd amount to do it, but it is you're getting a lot of magic if the kid's the right age. It's really critical that, to me, we're going to go. We went once. That's it. I'm never going back. But one of the kind of barriers to entry for me, for my wife, was they all have to remember it because I'm not going back. So Bootsy had to be of an age to where he could walk around on his own, because my God, is it huge, where he can walk around predominantly on his own, and that he has a full recollection of everything that happens. So he's 9 now. He was 7 when we went, and that was perfect. I think you could probably do it with a 5 or 6 year old. I would not do it with anybody under the age of 5 because it's too big and it's way too expensive, and you just run the risk of them not being able to remember any of it.
Let me put you on the spot here. Would Grandpa Bo have any interest in going, say, 20 plus years from now?
Yeah, I would do that.
30 plus.
Like with one of the boys and their kids, provided my liver holds out that long. Yeah, I would probably do that. But here's what I would do. I would write the biggest check possible, and I would do the thing where you have the private person. Like we did that one day. We did the private person one day, private tour. We did 3 parks in one day. We didn't stand in line for anything. She was walking us. She would walk us through doors that you didn't even know existed. And then you would end up at the front of the line. It'd be like a 2-hour ride limit for like Guardians of the Galaxy. And she took us like around back behind some trees. We went in a door that you didn't even know existed, like almost like a secret door. You walk through like steps and ladders and you get to it. And all of a sudden we walked out and we're at the front of the line. And everyone's going, what is this?
Wait, so now that you know where some of the secret doors are, could you theoretically rob Disney?
Dude, no. Well,
I guess because they all know the doors anyway, but
they know the
inside
doors too.
job you could.
They know the door. Yeah, they know the doors too. And the way that it's set up, it's almost like a maze to where I don't know if I don't even know if the day that we did it, if you told me, all right, the next day I want you to follow the same path, I don't think I would remember. It was just a labyrinth. And you would end up in these places. So to answer Bake's question, yes, Grandpa Bo I will do that. I would be thrilled to do that. I'm going to want one of those carts to zoom me around with the horns. And I'll do that.
In the VIP package, looking ahead for Grandpa Bo, is there an all-you-can-drink?
That's the other thing. That's the other benefit of the VIP. They'll get you anything you want.
Okay.
What do you want? A couple Yellow Jackets. Stat. Let's go. Like they just go.
I mean, that's a selling point right there.
Yeah.
Every 20 minutes. We need 3 more. Keep them coming.
I was going to say 20 minutes, but then you said 3 more.
Yeah.
All right.
Reese, who's your IV company?
Hydrate Me Med Spa.
So have those guys in the left vein.
Okay.
And then just keep the Yellow Jackets flowing.
And Yellow Jackets in the right.
Yep. Just perfect.
That sounds like
all I need.
I need 2 IVs.
That's right. One of each.
One good, one bad.
That's right. I need one each, and I'll get through it and thrive. And then the other thing I would do is we would stay in separate places so I could have a little bit of Uncle Bo time at the end. Like I need to have a little bit of time to unwind. That was the other thing I said. I'm like, all right, there comes a time in the day where I'm done, and I need a little Bo time. We need to unwind this thing a little bit because it's been a day. But yeah, inside job.
Since we're speaking about all of this, I don't have a lot of things that like freak me out or weird me out in life.
Okay.
Grown adults that are all into Disney without
don't do
kids.
this. Don't start this fight.
They freak me out.
Oh boy.
I've got a video that I'm going to send you both of something I saw at Disneyland, California that involved Peter Pan that I caught organically with my phone that will buttress your point in the biggest possible way.
I mean, that may be the biggest dating red flag for me.
Well, I don't think that's going to be a problem for this specific person, but I will send you the video, and God bless.
I can't
God
wait
bless.
to see.
Yeah, we'll get you officially endorsed in 3 things on a First Friday coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is a Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass. Most recently, we saw your defense get more pressure on the quarterback. I know some of that involves the situations what the offense has got to present, but it still had to be good to see that happen.
Well, it goes hand in hand with the secondary, and when I think we're doing a better job of pushing the pocket right now and not letting the quarterback, extend. The quarterback last week, was very quick. Navarro could get out of the pocket and create things, and that's kind of what he had done. And so a big part of that was, forcing him to a second and third read and then pushing the pocket, making him feel uncomfortable, and then having to go from there, and then allowing the second part of the rush to come in, whether it was a spy or some sort of twist. So well executed, and we know as we continue down our road here, pressure on the quarterback is, one of those things that we've got to get done every week. And situationally, especially in third down, is where it's critical, but just across the board. And so it all goes together with how the secondary is doing a good job with their coverage and how we fit those pass rushes. And you talk a lot about the execution of an offense, but the execution of patterns and how it all comes together in the pass rush is something that we spend a lot of time on as well.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment. Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
After 3 games, Coach, can you see you're starting to develop some depth on your defensive line?
A lot of guys are getting in the game now. We're getting more and more information, feedback on who we think can help us as we head into this run of conference games 4 in a row. And, it's good for them to get out there and recognize the things that they're doing well and recognize the things that, they can build confidence in and also the things they got to get better at. So we know we have to continue to get better. And, I think this improvement week allows us an opportunity to continue to focus on that and making sure we have the right guys in the right spots.
Okay, this is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota. Now through September 30th, get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.75 on RAV4 Hybrid. Excludes plugins. Or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $299 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Matty Ice here from McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. I recently bought a brand new Chevy Trax for McDaniel GM Superstore. It was by far the best car purchase I have ever made. And right now you can get a 2025 Trax at McDaniel GM Superstore for as low as $21,995. And with over 40 in stock, you know you'll find the perfect one for you. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet. A century of trust. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Scotty Vegas here. Smartest bet of the season? Bet on yourself. I needed a weight loss plan that fit into real life. Tailgates, road trips, kids' nights, and still lets you eat. Week 1 with Awaken 180, I was down 6. By the end, 45 pounds gone. That's with wings, chili, meatballs, sausages, all the good stuff. It's the Tailgate transformation. Structure, coaching, and food that tastes like a win. Make the smart play. Start your Tailgate transformation at Awaken180weightloss.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Find us on YouTube. Search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what are you on the poll today?
It's a dangerous fan poll. It asks, do you think the Guardians win their 6th game in a row tonight against the Tigers in Detroit? 54% say no. We had a similar fan poll last week, I believe, in a series against the Royals, and I said yes. I was very chesty about it, and the Guardians lost.
Okay.
I mean, logic would tell you, right? If Black's hit 5 times in a row, bet red, but it's the guards, and they're on fire.
It's Gavin Williams against Jack Flaherty for the Tigers.
It's a lot of baseball for me today, kids.
Yeah.
It's a lot of baseball.
You're going to earn that first Friday.
Yeah, let's do it. Hit it.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday. Officially endorsed because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
Sponsored by Hydrate Me Med Spa. Feel better, recover faster, live optimized with Hydrate Me.
Drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
Indeed we do. And this time of year, although it's obviously warm this week, but the last couple of weeks have been cooler, crisp nights. There are certain bourbons I look for this type of year. And the one that I looked for this year is one of my favorite fall bourbons. It just hits different for me in fall. And I went and found one, and I had a couple fingers of it last week. Woodford Reserve Double Oak on a Big Rock. It's a delight. It's an absolute delight. And this time of year, it really hits home for me. I don't know what it is. It's just something with the flavor notes in it that work in the fall. And next week, we'll get a little bit more to fall conditions. So we're going to go Woodford Reserve Double Oak as your officially endorsed. Babe.
That's Dad's favorite. That's his. He loves the double oaked from Woodford.
It's a great one, man. And I don't know, this time of year, it really, really hits for me. Time for 3 things on a First Friday.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number 1 for me. This isn't a headline from The Onion. This is real. A zoo in China has banned a chimp from viewing viral videos due to the damage it does to his health. What do you think it's doing to your kids, folks? What do you think it's doing to you? Like the Chinese and a chimp know it's a problem. Watch more Teen Wolf.
Speaking of problems, we had talked earlier in the program about college football teams that are cooked 4 weeks into the regular season. I wrote down one, Colorado, and this was before news came out today that the Buffaloes are going back to Caden Salter in their game Saturday against BYU, so they host the Cougars at 10:15. This will be the 3rd quarterback in as many weeks that Deion's going to start in a game. They had Ryan Staub last week against Houston. That's a absolute recipe for disaster. So Colorado cooked.
He's got one more trump card. He's got one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the country who's a true freshman. So he's got that trump card he can play later in the year to bail him out. But yeah, it's not gone well.
Tough to win when you lose your son and maybe the most generational college football player we've seen in quite some time. I saw today is Patrick Mahomes' 30th birthday. And I was like, man, we've already got 9 seasons out of Patrick Mahomes, and he's 30. And then it got me thinking, Aaron Rodgers is still playing at 41. Joe Flacco at 40. Tom Brady made it to 45 a couple years ago. And it got me thinking, will we get 10 more years, maybe 15 more years of Patrick Mahomes? And then it got me thinking, my goodness, people are already tired of Mahomes and the Chiefs. How are they going to feel if we get 10 more seasons of him?
Well, you will, and you're going to get a second act, too. That's the other thing. I remember we had 2 acts with Brady. You had the first act, game manager, prolific passer, and then what he became in the end. So you're going to get several acts of him. Yeah, it's crazy what he's accomplished already. Number 2 for me, there was a Hey Guys question about what 3 mysteries would you want the real truth to? It caught my attention, so I give you the 3 that I would want. I want to know Area 51. Give me all of it. Give me the real truth on all of Area 51. I want to know where the aliens are. I want to know if my neighbors won. I need that right away. Holy Grail, where's it at? I'll take a sip. Denver Airport. What's going on there, man? What's going on in that Denver airport, brother? That thing's terrifying. Lucifer out front. All the flight cancellations. I've had to spend the night in that place. It was a total nightmare with a 2-year-old sleeping on my chest. I got to know what's going on underneath that place, man.
Second thing for me, so you talked about the 30th birthday for Patrick Mahomes. It's the 33rd birthday for Jose Ramirez, which is incredible to think about. That he's now his mid-30s and still playing at that kind of a level.
Is he an all-time Mount Rushmore guardian Indian?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who are the other three?
I don't think that's a question.
Who are the other three?
I need to do more baseball talk. There's
Feller.
Feller
is the George Washington.
It probably starts with the heater from Van Meter.
Jim Tomei.
Larry Doby.
Yeah.
Maybe this can be one of your three things tomorrow. You can think.
I'd have to think because I don't have a. I mean, again, Jose and Feller are on there.
Bo, sorry for this, but my second thing is going to be baseball as well. And a bad job out of me. Yesterday was 37 years since Tom Browning pitched the only perfect game in Cincinnati Reds history. They beat the Dodgers 1-0. It was just the 12th perfect game at the time. There's only been 24 in history. It's the only one that's ever been pitched on artificial turf. 102 pitches for Browning, 70 of them were strikes. Never did he get to a 3-ball count against anyone, and he was the first lefty since Sandy Koufax to throw one.
I think it was against Tim Belcher, too, wasn't it?
It was, because Belcher had a no-hitter into the 6th.
Yeah. Finally, number 3 for me today. We are aerating the lawn today. We had terrible summer lawn-wise. Just didn't take, had some fungus, so we're aerating it. Massive, of course, cost at that, and overseeding, all these things. There is something so satisfying of looking at a lawn post-aeration, and the way that it freaks my wife out because all of the little plugs look like Buddy's number 2s. It's so worth it. That's worth the price of admission. Forget the lawn.
Final thing, and a bad job out of me not having a Guardians Mount Rushmore ready to go. I'm going to go Feller, Lofton, Kluber, Jose Ramirez.
No Tomei.
All right. Final thing for me, Rothman and Ice coming up next. Adam Schefter coming up at 12:30. The General, Robert Carpenter at 1:30.
You have that to look forward to, which is very, very nice. Enjoy your first Friday. Act accordingly, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.